Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Speak of the Joker, and today we are playing Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, whatever. It doesn't really matter what the subtitle is because we have played the first game. We enjoyed the first game. Only two criticisms of the first game because I was thinking about this. One, it's a lot of reading. Your buddy Joker struggles to read. That's just reality of the situation. But thing number two, I wanted to get off the space station in part one, and that was the ending of the game. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know if this is the same character that you're playing, like after the events of the first game, if it's a completely different thing. I feel like it's a completely different thing. Because it's called Starward Vector. That's my idea. That's why I think it's a different thing. This is a game with dice mechanics, which we will learn very quickly. Sometimes is good, sometimes it's bad. The name of the stream is Dice Don't Lie, which is, of course, a thing people say in the tabletop RPG world. So let's see how that goes. Let's dive right into it. I usually like to change settings and make sure like motion blur is off and all that kind of stuff before I get into anything. I couldn't do that because here is the starting menu. And I didn't want to start a new game without you all here. So let's do it. Let's hit new game and then I'll go into the settings. Oh, here we go. Ooh, I really want to put it on easy. All right, what are options here? Tutorials on, that's fine. Let's do that. Difficulty can be changed at any time for the pause menu. I don't mind that. Safe, for those focus on story, low risk option. Broken dice are worth 1. Oh man, you don't even know how valuable that is, but we don't have to get into that. I mean, assuming it's similar to what it was. Higher stress tolerance, and then death is disabled. Ooh. I didn't know you could die. Maybe you could die in the first one, I just never did. The intended difficulty for those happy to be challenged. Broken dice cannot be used. That's same as the first one. Standard stress tolerant, and death incurs significant penalty, permanent penalty. I guess let's just go middle. Let's go risky. The reason these are called the things they are called is, and you'll see this when we play, sometimes you can play dice. Like, let's say it's like recommended a 5 and you play a 3, then it's going to be like, that's risky, for example, or that's dangerous. Like, bad things happen if you fail, stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, if it's like the first one, which I'm guessing it is. Okay. So I guess we're not playing the first one because we get to pick our character. Okay. What? Push? What is push? Okay, rally. I don't know what these mean. So I'm guessing this is the Extractor. Extractor sleepers are built to work on coal faces of corporation mountain. All right. Endurance. We got endurance. Ooh, I have no idea like what's good in this game. Interface. I definitely want something to. It's interesting. They have a skill that you just can't have. Oh, okay. Hold on. Reroll lowest die. That sounds very powerful. What was your special ability? +2 to lowest crew dice. I don't know what crew dice are. Maybe we have a crew. +2 seems like could be more. I think +2 is more valuable than a reroll. I would say probably the math on that. I don't know. Because you could. What if your lowest is a 4 and now you can have 6? Where before, if your lowest is a 4, it's like you could reroll it, but you'll probably do worse. +1 stress. We don't need that kind of stress. +1 stress also. Once we narrow down, then we'll read all these. Ooh, I don't know what engage is. I mean, tutorials on. Like, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if you told me what these things meant. Oops. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have no engage. Is that good? Is it fighting? I'm not a fighter. -1 stress on focus die positive outcome. Okay. +2 and focus lowest dice. Okay. I have no idea what any of this means. I'm sort of leaning towards this guy. Just the engineer feels good. Yeah. Oh, that's it? Okay, we got 3 to choose from. Okay. Let's endure. I can't do somebody with no endure. Yeah, only one with endure though, whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so this is the machinist, possibly. That's what that says. They're built to repair and modify automated systems used in corporate resource extraction. The machinists are very skilled engineers, but their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus skills allow them to focus on a single task and boost their dice to excel in it. Sleepers assigned to machinists are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. That doesn't sound like me at all, but that does sound fun to play. I'm not doing this guy. He's got no endure. I don't know what that means, but I don't like it. It stresses me out. Let's go this guy. Extractor sleepers are built to work on the coal face of a corporation resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Okay, so they're very tough. That's why he has 2 endure. Extractors have a high level of physical endurance, but their confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. The rally skill allows them to motivate those on their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to Extractor are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Ooh. Intuit means intuition? Probably. I'm kind of leaning towards this guy. All right, thoughts between the Extractor and the machinist. I'm guessing that's how that's pronounced. I don't know. So, yeah. Engineering skill. Interface, I think, has to do with computers, if I'm kind of remembering that from the first one. Endurance, I think, matters in terms of, like, repairing your dice and stuff. So, that's why I don't want no endurance. But I don't have engage. So, like, if I need to chat somebody up or convince somebody to do something, this I don't think this guy can do that at all. But I think intuition... I'm like sort of trying to remember from the first one. This is like I played a year ago at least, or if not more. Actually, probably more. I believe this has to do with like knowing which dice to use or like knowing which skill check is slightly better. So it's something like that. Where this guy has none of that. So that kind of worries me. You know what? I think we're going here. I think we're going here, and we're just not going to be working with people. There's no wrong answer. Or maybe there really is, and I just have no idea. Flashback to System Shock. What is System Shock? I don't remember that. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find a piece of yourself. Usually these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First your body, artificial. Compromised. Never mind. But relaying sense of data all the same. Then it's context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it the first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles, fear. But that similar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent. Even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives: the fear. It's scrambled, panic fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It's the fear that tells you something is wrong, something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper. The voice whispers in your ear. An act that makes you suddenly aware of your head, pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted, one person sleeping until their debt is worked away. Their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed, a proxy, an emulation. A sleeper, that's what you are. You escaped. You remember that now. You broke free of your corporate creations. Hassanarp? Whatever. In search for a future. You can't remember the details of your escape, but you know that fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden you remember you have eyes and they flicker open. Pale eyes and a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear. Once you recoil from instinctively... Oh, one you recoil from instinctively. We can't read. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over you, your horizontal floating body, looking down your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. You try to look away the corners of your vision to find something you understand. Your body doesn't respond. I suppose that wasn't enough. He reached into his pocket jacket and retrieved a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters. The object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer. The drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitably decaying. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid rolling in the vials fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now. After what you've done to this body of yours, he looks at you with the palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you. Those were meant to free you from your dependence, but the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. They are free. You piece of trash. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try and understand why, you only find dizzying darkness. Shut him up, Lane barks the command, and you hear the sound of impact of pain from everywhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You are free when I disable your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you need. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now you aren't free. You're just broken. I had such plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt reaction. You will the arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder, often the sound of struggling behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it. But your emulation? You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into a port of the base of your skull. Burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling the cables plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then you feel hands steadying you, pulling the cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey! He places his hand to your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out for long. He unloops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper, help me out here. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you and feels his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on. He tugs the connection clear and pulls you up. You see the room you're in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows, looking out on a possibly bright screen-filled street beyond. Sort of. In the corner, you see a dark shape of the floating body surrounding by glittering constellations of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move. You're wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you. And then you're out in all the brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. We got a lot of reading going on. We'll roll some dice soon. You come to a stop in a dark alley. The one who guided you there is pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit and then sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. That sounds like... okay. Alright. We're getting like 90% of the words. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot. Something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eye. What's going on, sleeper? He wipes the sweat from her forehead and floats away in a swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Okay, so in case you missed this, because it's starting to come back to me from the first one. These, like, robots have, like, somebody's mind copied. That person is sleeping. That's why you call it a sleeper. They're sleeping until your robot version of you works off all their debt. You're, like, born into debt. Like, this is like, set 12 years from now. Buzzing! So, yeah, no. So that's what a sleeper is. Like, your real human body is somewhere sleeping while your robot works off all your debt. And clearly I've been here. This is a little bit like the beginning of Fallout New Vegas, like you're shot in the head, you don't know what's going on kind of feeling. Okay, who are you? Who was that? Where are we? How about, who are you? I know who that was. It was Liam or something, right? You see a concerned frown cross his face. Don't mess with me, sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes and waits for an answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal, there we go, solar cells. Shadowed by them, you open your eyes. Dark side? The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. Besides, and me, who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting his hand on his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far. I wonder if I had answered, this is clever how games do this, I wonder if I had answered, where are we? Then I would have remembered his name, and then he still would have said, the reboot, interrupt the process. You know, like, all that dialogue would have been the same, but I asked who he was, and then I remembered the name of the city. So I wonder if I had said, what city are we in, then I would have remembered his name. And then the rest of the dialogue could be the same. That's like a fun thing video games do, so maybe that's what would happen. As you're led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard. Is this the guy with the focus ability? I don't actually remember. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you. Along with the crowds, you recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. The stabilizer drug that the Liam guy was talking about, that's how the corporation keeps the sleepers from running away, because they have to come back to them to get that drug. And they're the only ones that make it, but there are black market versions. Then Lane. Why do I keep calling him Liam? His name is Lane, but it should be Liam. That would really help me out. Then Leanne. I should get this right. It sounds like he's going to be a major character. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Google says, not you. Lane rhymes with rain. Is how it's usually pronounced.
Lane.
There we go. Then Lane. Those pale eyes offering you a glittering vial stabilizer. The promise of supplying more for your work. A deal he locked you into like a cage. There your memory fails you. But the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, the fear remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait, a guide holds up a hand. And you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead you see a tunnel. It opens to a wide open bay. A few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods toward the docks. And you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubo, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head, frustrating. All this, not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eyes. You see, and you see he is playing with the coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and flips away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Serafin, all right? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, that's our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? And you nod meekly. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Sorry, folks. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks at the docks. I'll lead them away. You get to the docking bridge. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? I've got it. A rig is some kind of vessel. I don't, get that door. He pats you on his shoulders. I know you can do this. Okay, before we hit continue, I don't know what's about to happen. Well, I mean, everything's turn-based. I guess I can hit continue. But one thing I think I had like a happy ending in the first one, or like a successful ending. I didn't figure this out until probably halfway through, if not longer. There are multiple paths you can kind of take and decisions you can make. And so I kind of like half did a lot of things and didn't get very far with all of them. And sometimes that's just, well, that's how the dice are. There's the one thing you want to work on. You want to work on the rig. Well, you need a 5 and you didn't roll any 5. So I guess you're not doing that today. So that is a thing in the game that's interesting. So this time I'm going to try to figure out what the different sections are and really try to focus on one. Let's see if I do a better job with that. Serafin kicks off hard and glides into the docks. I guess there's some level of weightlessness here. Over here, poopy heads. He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. You wait a breath and then glide across the door where they were guarding. You look already panicked at the tightly sealed door. Its control panel locked you out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. Tutorial. During scenes, you may encounter skill checks, where you can perform certain actions using your skills, like the dice actions, you will encounter later, skill checks have a positive, neutral, or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you will succeed on a check. The odds of success are displayed when you select the check. You can see more info on the guide on the pause screen. Okay, hack the door. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about the yawning, everybody. This is really annoying. Break the seal. 50% positive, 50% neutral. Result. 25% positive, 50% neutral, 25% negative. So this is an overall... I mean, it seems obvious to break the seal, right? Right? But, yes. 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 Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. -1 stress. Is that a good thing to get -1 stress? Or did I -1 stress tolerance? Oh, I didn't see if I succeeded, by the way. You shift to the central access panel and wrench it open. It only takes a moment to understand the mechanism, and you reach in and snap the locking axle, the door popping open with a hiss. Go, go, Serafin files past through the doorway into the docking terminal. Now, what I'm betting is if I had, I don't know. We're guessing here. If I have hacked it and I was successful, then I could have shut it behind me and slowed the other guys down. But now I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm guessing that's what happened. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the dock, and they quickly guide after Serafin. Serafin's already at the rig's door, inputting the entry code. The rig door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Okay, we're okay. Quickly, Serafin grabs you by the arm and drags you to the cockpit. The ship's layout is hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does, talking to himself. Come on. The rig drive rumbles to life. Well, I guess we're not staying here then. And Serafin slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. Nice. So I hear my morning dice. I would have liked to have... I think in the first one you would roll and it would like make noise like it rolled. These are just here. I don't know how I feel about that. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automated systems nudged by their docking protocols. You feel a sense of relief. Serafin burned hard out of dark side. You dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Serafin breaks the silence. We're good, sleeper. How come I don't have a name? Everybody else has a name. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked this ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is you don't remember any of them. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and laying aside. We certainly did. I'm not a strong silent type. He turns, and you see a pained look on his face, as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact same thing to him before? Are you okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really. Serafin reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practiced fashion. Completing the shutdown, you watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize, is just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk that runs through the wall of the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. Serafin kicks off his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find... Oh, sorry about the yawning. His hands find the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back at you, backlit by cold cyan. We need a plan. He glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly, he sighed. We need to talk. We keep running. We hide here. How about we need to talk? Serafin furrows his brow. Not now, Sleeper. We need to forget. He flinches, the words coming out wrong. We need to focus on something other than... Pauses again, unsure. Us. He slices. Oh, are we a couple? We need to survive this thing first. Then maybe we talk. Fine by me. That isn't fair. How about fine by me? This dude, like, whoever this dude is, whatever our relationship is, he saved our life. That we know. So, you call the shots for now. Serafin nod, but the tension remains. Like, if we're together, like, I'm down. You just saved my life. Like, we can be a couple. We're the only two people on this ship. I don't know. If you are a long-time viewer, if you're just here for the first time checking out this game, then maybe you don't know this, but I never do romance options in video games. But I'm like maybe this is the one. We bought ourselves sometimes. He glances at the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do, and there are plenty of opportunities here for us. If we can keep our heads down, he turns back to the quarter, and that's what we'll do. Oh, is this going to be like, build up my ship, gather resources? I don't know. We'll find out. I keep talking about what the game's going to be. Let's just get into the game. He pushes off and glides toward the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along hand over hand in 0G. Oh, so just everything is 0G out here? How do we keep our organs working? I guess, I think I'm a robot? So maybe it doesn't matter? He's not a robot. He doesn't look like a robot. Do they put nipples on robots? Oh, yeah, look, the background kind of wiggles a little as I move my mouse. I totally forgot that was the thing. I think, actually, I don't want to mess something up, but I think there's actually keyboard commands that also move things. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps a hand against the ship's insides. So, we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how it works. I'm going to get myself acquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections. People that might have thrown us at easy contract. You! He glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. I'm going to. Low profile guy. I'll say that. Serafin stops at the airlock. Stopping the reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from a locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into the sleeve. I don't want you passing out in... He stops. I'll be fine? Don't baby me. I'm not going to say that. That seems rude. How about I'll be fine? Don't worry about me. Serafin drops his head, swearing to himself. He grabs another crew jacket and thrusts at you. Just put the darn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Serafin nods. He stabs a button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open, and Serafin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys your disguise again and shakes his head. This is a terrible idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Serafin instinct to look after you. Flash of relationship now lost in the reboot. Catch. Serafin throws a handful of something towards you. Hopefully it'll be one of these things. I only have 3 inventory items. These are terrible rolls, by the way. 2, 2, 3, 4, 6? That's not 6, that's 5. No 6s. You manage to grab the projectiles. When you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo chits. Could be careful with how we pronounce that. Those should get you some food. We need some more fuel and supplies, Grimace. So that's just for food. So that's just for food. I have to work for the fuel. That actually kind of makes sense. All right, hold on. There we go. And Odd jobs on the station for both of us. Serafin kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, right? He shouts easily. You take it slow. I actually, here's my plan. Like, maybe this is dumb. I am planning on not going very far and taking it kind of slow. Like, let's listen to this guy. He clearly has good intentions. I don't want to think about Lane at all. Either think about Serafin or make a plan. I'm going to make a plan. That's what he wants me to do. Or they. I don't know. I don't know what the heck Serafin is. Doesn't matter. They're our friend. That's what matters. And with that... Oh, he is gone. It says it was literally right there. Never mind. Look at me. Trying to be too open. It says it right there. Leaving the connecting bridge to heading into Hexport's docking concourse. You wait a moment in silence. I'm going to make a plan. That's what he wants. You try to think ahead of what might be coming. You'll need work. That's the first step. But then what? Lane will be coming eventually. The sooner you can put some distance between you and the Hexport, the better. So that's the plan. Rest, resupply, and run. You shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into the port. Okay, I like it. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. I don't know why I'm saluting. Starward Vector. This game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice, use cryo to buy food, supplies, fuel, and items, progress clocks towards new scenes and events. You can review tutorials at any time in the pause menu. Oh, I didn't read the actual thing. It said mouse wheel. So all I read was the word mouse wheel. There you go. I knew there was a way to move more. We can move our mouse wheel. Okay, so these are... I'm gonna click on this and hope I don't, like, break the game. Okay, so I can end the cycle. You can quickly visit and leave the rig with a right click. Crew actions. The rig is your ship and home on the Starward Belt. While the rig is docked at the hub, so we are probably going to travel to other places. That's good. Because that was something that could have been fun in the first one. There are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks. Use dice to reduce stress. Galley. Use supplies to regain energy. Nice. Other locations you unlock as you play. While the rig is in the dock at the hub, so, like, if you, let's just say, everything you try to do, there's not enough, like, good dice, then you can, like, just use your dice to reduce stress, basically. I remember doing something similar in the first one. I don't know if it was called stress, but I remember that, too, where it's like, oh, well, I have a 2 left. Let's do that. While the rig is in the dock, your crew will also help gather resources to contribute to upkeep the ship. We need a bigger crew. That's what I'm hearing. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew task menu. You have a random chance for acquiring it at the beginning of the following cycle. Nice. This clock is a cycle clock. It will progress towards an event in each cycle. Its completion will trigger significant events. I don't like that was on a timer. So what this means is, like, every day does this. So that's probably like when Lane will show up and we can leave before that happens. Okay. Make a meal. I need supplies to do that. Input 1 supply. That's a repeatable action. Rest and recover. So this is safe. So I hope this doesn't automatically do it because I just want to see how it works. So I can put in a 2 and then I have 50% neutral, 50% negative. So I put in a 3 and now I have a chance. I put in a 5, it should be 50% positive. Okay. So interesting. It doesn't tell me the number. I felt like it did in the first one, but that also could have been a character. That could have been an ability. I'm going to right-click. Right-click did what I thought it would do. Okay. Right-click backed out. Music's weird. Task. Oh, so this is what Serafin's doing. Task, chance per cycle. This is what the crew is working on, and I don't know how to change that. I can end the cycle. That would be a disaster. Okay. So if I do this, This doesn't take a die, does it? Supplies are typically saved for contracts, but when food isn't readily available, you've got to use what you... Okay, so we don't want to use supplies just for making a meal. Now I'm going to right-click again. Okay, now we're here. So obviously, we actually don't even have the ability to kind of ignore his wishes and go all the way over here. We actually can only go to these two places. Busy way station dock or goods exchange. Probably not good exchange because we don't have goods. In Citizen Sleeper 2, you perform actions by assigning action dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed that action. But your dice will be modified by your skill. Your skill modifier for the action is displayed on the right, and you will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to that action. Like skill checks, dice actions have 3 outcomes. Each action is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous, based on the outcome it has. The more dangerous an action, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. For more information. So you want to, like, if you find a danger and you throw a 6 in, like, you know, you're going to be a much better situation. Chat with crews. That's not really our thing, but it's interesting. We don't have any engage skill. So let's see what a 5 would do. Okay, so because we have no engage skill, the 5 becomes a 3. Interesting. What does a 2 become? A 2 becomes a 1 because you can't go negative. So that's interesting to think about. Like, even though something might be risky, but if we have a 1, maybe we do it where we don't have a skill. So we do have intuition. I think this is saying we have 1 skill. I don't know how to... Actually, speaking of that, we have not had a chance to look at any options. Yeah, here we go. Text size default. The text size seems fast. Scroll speed, slower, honestly. Music level, it's pretty quiet. This is it. Nice. Okay. No graphic settings or anything, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna leave here. Hexport connections. The Hexport docks run through life. So we can make connections, and if we fill this up, then that'll be worth some large extra reward. We can fill it up by exploring the docks or by chatting with the crews. This is risky, this is dangerous. So that might change over time. That's another thing I remember for the first one, where it's like, it's going to be less risky and dangerous to work at the docks if I make a friend that shows me the docks. Stuff like that. Let's check the exchange. Maybe I can just do work here. The rules of the exchange. The exchange buzzes with a conversation of commerce. This is a place where contracts are found. Okay, so maybe this is where I need to be. Trade scrap. Engineering. I have engineering plus. So let's see. A 2 becomes a 3, which means a 5 would become a 6. 100% positive result. Okay, so even though that's dangerous, it's something that's possible. And here's the thing. You don't know yet, or at least I don't know yet. This might fill this up 2 bars, it might fill it up 3, or it might fill it up 1. So I don't actually know. But like, part of me doesn't want to waste this if I can use a 4 to become a 5. I don't want to waste my 5. And then this is something I have 1 skill in, so again, let's check. A 2 stays a 2. A 5 stays a 5. Okay, interesting. So like, what might make more sense is to do this. And then essentially I have 2 5s. Instead of changing my 5 to a 6 and 4 to a 4. Okay. So these are our only options today. So I don't like that everything is risky or dangerous. Not a big fan of that. So I think I know what I'm going to do there. And then here, let's think about what we're going to do here. What happens here? That 25% negative on a dangerous... Oh, that's right. I don't have engage. Yeah, I don't want to do risky at all. Like, maybe I'll just save this dice and just not do it. Okay. All right. We can't overthink this. I mean, we literally can overthink it, but I mean, we shouldn't overthink it is what I mean to say. So I'm going to go 4 here, 50% positive, 50% neutral. Let's go ahead and lock that in. This very well could be a huge mistake. We got 2. So I got +2. That's the neutral outcome. You just progress the clocks, clock trad, support, positive events, whatever. So that was the neutral outcome. And that's what makes it dangerous, is even a neutral outcome is actually pretty good. Okay, now it's like, I feel like the game is trolling me. I was just talking about how quiet things were, and now it's like, it's gonna start blasting in my ear. Okay. Oh, but hold on, we can do it again? Okay. Let's think about doing it again. We have 25% chance of negative right here. Negative, we lost an energy. That is very bad. Wow, that's a 25% chance. That's actually kind of rough. Rough? Boy, words are tough today. So I could just do it again, or let's impress the brokers. Well, no, you know what? I want to have. This seems like a bad idea. I'm gonna do it again. 24% chance negative. Okay, positive outcome. That's our first positive. We got 7 cryo and +2. I don't know. That's what I wanted to do. So now I can't do either of these because this is full. This is a clock, and so now tomorrow it'll give me something. Oh, new location discovered. Okay. Buy fuel. Okay. Fill fuel. Great. If you have enough cryo, you can fill your fuel capacity in a single order. Great. Buy supplies. Okay. So the exchange was opened up because I've just earned some money. Nope. Mouse wheel. Hexport canteen. He said get me a bite to eat. So I might do that. 13 gives you energy and stops you from starving. I think this bar right here is energy. So I'm actually going to do this, even though it's 13 and I've just earned 7. This is half my money. Let's see what happens. That filled me up. That's good. Plus 4 energy. So maybe I could have waited a day. I forgot. I didn't see what the negative was. It was probably just money, which would make sense. Okay. So not great in terms of the funding we have. Oh. Scroll. I don't know where our stress is represented. Oh, here's our skills. Okay, hold on. Welcome to your character screen. Here you can upgrade and configure your sleeper. On the left, you can upgrade your skills. Yeah, see, I can focus. Where's the focus? How can I focus and then get +2 to my lowest die? All right. On the left, you can upgrade your skills. On the right, you can upgrade your push and unique ability of your class. When you upgrade your push, only 1 upgrade at each level can be active at once. You can configure them at the hub. I don't really know what that means. It's fine. Okay. Okay, cool. 0 points available. That's fine. Just clicking on stuff. So I need 4 points to upgrade this is what I'm reading. I need 4 points to upgrade that. I could really just max out engineering and just hope that I keep running the engineering checks. Okay. I think I kind of understand it, but I also don't know how to, like, use my focus this turn. No active drives. All right. Let's... I mean, 50% positive, 50% neutral. That seems best. What do I got over here? Chat with crews? No, that just doesn't make any sense. All right, let's hope for positive. Positive result. Neutral outcome, -1 energy, so I definitely should have eaten at the end of the day because I think I just wasted that energy. Boy, there's too much information. I didn't read all of that again. But we made some progress here, so we don't want to do this. 50% neutral, 50% negative. That's too risky, so we're going to leave. And now we go... Oh, the Benz. This is also new. Buy a Benz fry. Oh, maybe I should have done this. This is much cheaper. Play Stars and Stroker. S&S is a spacer gambling game played with custom magnetic dice. Chits are stash in symbol marked cans, and the winner is ruthlessly luck-based. Another time. I'm glad that's here now. We're actually going to reduce our stress, but I don't know what my stress level is. But I don't want to use a 2 on something else. So it's safe, so even though it says negative, it probably will not be that bad of a result if we fail. Neutral outcome, -1 stress. You've used all of your dice for the cycle. You need to end your cycle of the ship. The rig will roll them. Okay. Okay, great. End cycle. Okay, so I've lost. I got 2 hungries. Or no, I already was down 1. These are excellent dice. 5, 5, 2, 5, 5. Can I not get a 6? Maybe you can't get a 6. Or maybe I don't, but either way, this is excellent. This is going to mean I can basically attempt to do everything that I want to do today. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Serafin leans in the bunk as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor to the rear of the ship. I wonder if it's something I did. You drift out the passageway, pulling on your clothes and glide down the length of the rig. Cool air making you shiver, Serafin's silhouette silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through the side door, shooting you a glance as he does. Find Serafin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that you are waving in the 0G engine room. Okay. You know what these are? No, tell me. These are engine feed lines. He waves one in the air. And before you ask, no, they're not supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? You must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of the dark side. He looks at the mess. We're lucky the reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, it would have been bad. But he pushes the pipe to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumbs a large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So we fix it. That's the short of it. Serafin whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We will need a new set of these, that's for sure, and starts forcing them into the crate. So how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at those things and see if we can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. What I've heard in Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Take a look. It's working. Waiting, pausing, seemingly unsure. There's something else. Drops the feed lines, and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly. Which is why we need those feed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know. He looks. I'm no ship fitter. Well, I'm an engineer. I have like +2 engineering, which seems to be pretty solid because you only get +3 of something. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles, weak smile. Get going. You leave the engine room. Clanking sound, cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath, heading out. Okay. You discovered a drive. Drive helps you track and choose your objectives in Citizen Sleeper 2. This is crew. That's drive. Okay. The arrow button in the top left opens the drive menu. Yes, I saw that before. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above the location. Drives come in two types, major and minor. On completing a major drive, you're rewarded with 2 upgrade points. I don't think this was in the first one. I mean, you got upgrades, but I don't know if it was from drives or like quests. Maybe it was. I don't know. It has been a while. Actually, I'm going to look up when I played that. Let's go to YouTube. My YouTube's like a little off in terms of like I uploaded it on this date, so then therefore it was probably 2 weeks earlier. It's fine. We played March 2024. So when I said a year ago, what I meant was 2.25 years ago. I didn't realize how long that's been. And we played 3 parts. That's probably what we'll end up playing this time too. I'm just getting a sense of the game. I think it's because we're a little slower on reading and we take a long time to make decisions that probably don't need to take a long time to make a decision on. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, when this hits all the way, then what's-his-face is going to probably attack us. The engine can... What can I do? Okay, I can fit the tube lines. Okay. So if I can get a tube line today, then I'm going to make a big change. Let's see, has anything changed here? So we're 2 out of 6 on these docks. Might come back and use my 5 there. This is, we max this out. No, not this. So, factory row. Okay, so now this is new. Haul materials. Search the row, and the Hexport factories are picky about who they work with. Trust is a currency here. So now I've opened up this like possible trust menu. This is... Oh, my character doesn't have endure? Is that what this means? Is that what that means? Yeah, that's what that means. This guy doesn't have endure? How do I not know? Shouldn't I know? No, it's engage. I have endure. I guess I just don't have... It's at 0. So it's not a skill that I can't use, it's just at 0. And then this one I have 1. So like this would probably be something I want to do. And probably not this unless I have a 6, but even then, not really. Just because it removes so much. Yeah, so even if I had a 6, it would be a 4, and it would probably still be... Like, 3s and 4s, I think, are treated about the same in this game, and I need to remember that. So that's one thing I probably want to do. Yeah, the feed tubes, it's interesting. There's... Oh, yeah, well, here, let's... Yeah. So this... Toggle tracking... Okay, so the quest brought me here. So I'm guessing I need... Alright, well, let's just do it. Sometimes you can do the same one over and over, and sometimes you have to switch. That was a neutral outcome. Yikes. We have 4 5s, though. Like, this is the day to get it. Positive outcome. Good. New location discovered. So let's check that out before we do anything. Engineering, that's what we're good at, and we have 2 5s, so we might want to go straight here. Okay, Swift Scrap Solutions is a triple S, and it is locally known as a chaotic and silently terrifying scrapyard where open shifts are always available. Okay, sell scrap here. Data diffusal shift, so less risky, less rewardy, probably. Boom, 100% positive, because it's our skill we're most proficient in. It feels like this is telling me to work here, right? Let's back up and let's try to understand the game here. Toggle. Oh no, it's still here. Okay, I think this is just for money. Darn it. 50% negative? What do you think negative would do? It actually might knock one down. Do we risk it? I just don't want to use my good die. This was dumb. I changed my mind. I can't change it. Negative. But we got a +1 trust. So we lost energy, but we still completed the goal. So yeah, I don't know if that was worth it or not. Factory row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. And I lost an energy, but here's my plan: to use these dies to make money, and for that money I can buy food, so maybe net still positive. That one was risky. I'm actually surprised there weren't bigger consequences, like losing one of those. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Warring manufacturers precisely engineering components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. So, for example, if I didn't have 4 5s, like, who knows what today would be like. Everywhere you look, there's energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built... Oh, and as you, like, get injured or stress or something, it's a little different in this game, it looks like, you lose the ability to roll that many dice. So it's like, oh, now I can only roll 2 dice. It makes the game a lot harder. Hexport itself is built on derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even a small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power the city's machines. Oh. It's familiar for you, of course, in a strange, far-off way because of Dark Side. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it's hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors. 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport. And that's wild. Flickering city grows the back of a tumor. Well, growing on their back like a tumor. In comparison, Hexport feels but deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Dark Side. Okay, that makes sense. And then you see them, tubes, just like the Serafin waved in your face, the feed lines. You push over the display of the window marked Karsten Supply in block capitals from the whole plate. There amongst angled shelf of oversized ship components sit the feed lines. Some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. I was going to say this too, like, once you feel like you've got a pattern and you understand what's happening, then there's going to be, like, things thrown in, like, actually, we need feed lines. So then you're like, oh man, that's derailing me. So this is it's good that it's happening right away. You slip inside where the factory row is a little screened, and spot a large figure working at a bench, hunch over, concentrating. Seems like he doesn't notice you. Wait patiently. Oh, what an interesting looking fellow. You let him work, watching as, despite his heavy build, he delicately aligns components, their layers slotting like puzzle pieces. After a few moments of observing the process, he turns his head a little towards you. Can I help you? His accent's heavy, unknown to you. Those feed lines, how much? Nice place you have here. We're gonna be, like, chill, even though our character has no chill. He's got, like, no intuition or whatever. You see a little reaction from the profile. Something need? Before you can respond, he tracks your eyes to the feed lines window. He looks back with a subtly changed expression. One can't quite place. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands with cloths. The sharp eyes scan you. But Karsten's thick-set features don't betray the results of his assessments. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands for a while, speaks, checking for stray sands. You have one of the old MEVs then. He sounds... Oh, MEVs. Sounds as the letters way you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to call anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Serafin should have come along. That's right. Always good to see one of those still running. Look, Karsten drifts... No, I'm just going to say that's right. I know those are the tubes we need, so I'm just going to agree with him. Over where you're standing, imposing height evident. For fellow enthusiasts like you, he continues in a distinct monotone. Let's say a few hundred cryo on clean chits. He shoots a glance at feed lines. 400, to be precise. I don't have 400. He looks up and down and sniffs. It's expensive, I know, it's a shame, but that's just what they're worth. He screws his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of a bartering type myself anyways. Barter sounds good. He nods sagely. There's a little favor I need a crew for. Hopefully 2 5s can do this favor. 400? I have 19. There's a little favor I need a crew for, and, well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in his pocket and clasps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there. Very old, pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone. So no one has ever really cut it, he shrugs. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by an unarmed ship, so it's been left well alone. Well, that doesn't sound like for me. But a salvager like you with an old Solheim rig. Oh, we have an old Solheim rig, okay. Yeah, I really wish our friend was here. I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. I have a special interest. I have a need for that old tech. Although Solheim ships have a data core, while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers or whatever they kept on those things, I do care about the hardware. So, if I was to find you back here, with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete, well then, I could see my way into doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Kristen pauses and sniffs the air. You would just need the coordinates. Why do you want it? Simple as that? How about simple as that? Simple as that, he repeats in his monotone way. Are you interested? I'll do it. Alright then, he holds out a heavy hand. As you shake, you automatically reach out, and he grabs your forearm instead. He pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this between us, alright? He half smiles, his huge face closer. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive in your palm, those coordinates. And then he lets go of your arm. With what you swear was a wink. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirring fills the air. He's returned to his workbench, turn and glide out. While a growing mix of anxiety and excitement hit your stomach. So if I had 400, then I probably would have done that, but I'm never going to get 400. Contract Serafin might even be impressed. You look at the drive in your palm and smile. This could be our route out. You think of leaving this place behind in possession of a ship, an improved ship too. Suddenly a small but firm hand lands on your back. An equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up. Do I have a new crew member? I need more crews. I think I need more crew members. I have an ability that helps crew members with their focus or something. I don't even know what my ability does or how to activate it, for the record. You turn in passage and see a young woman. Her waving from the rapid glide. She clearly just came out to catch you. She steadies herself using her shoulder. Sorry, she smiles, quick with a flat smile. I wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flick around nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries. Something data scrappers call a deck. A tablet. Her deck looks like a keyboard. And her backpack full of components and tangled wires. Do I know you? What's up? But what's up? Karsten. She starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. Is this the guy I was just talking to? She smiles a flat smile. Wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot down the drive in her palm of her hand. She smiles again. Why didn't he tell me? She glances back. I guess he forgot? He does it sometimes. She looks sheepishly at you. He just grabbed me after the two of you were done talking, so he's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out. She pauses. I can be pretty helpful. She looks around the passage. Should I meet you at your ship? And you can tell me when we're ready to go? I'm not sure. Sure, I mean, you aren't sure when you're leaving? I'm not sure you're coming. I mean, Carson said I need to go. She glances back at the shop's direction. And he does get pretty mad when people don't do what he asks. Let's see. Okay, she glances around. Junie pushes off some way of looking forward to working with you. Alright. I'm just gonna let her go. You watch her disappear down the passage. Things are getting complicated already, but at least you have a contract and a way to get the feed lines. Junie clearly works with data based on the gear she's lugging around, which might make her useful when it comes to pulling out the data core. But one question is, what does she get out of it? Why didn't Christian mention her sooner? You consider options and head back towards the rig. We're not ready for the rig. I don't know about this, sleeper. Serafin looks nervously out the rig's window as you finish explaining the deal. If this job is easy, Carson would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch. He frowns at the stars. And there's definitely something going on with this Junie girl. Shakes his head. I agree with all of these things. What choice do we have? How about what choice do we have? What if, Serafin knows we could get the courier together and build and buy the feed lines? Is that even possible? I found a contract board at the exchange further in the station. He gestures toward the Hexport. We take on a job that might get us some way towards buying those feed lines. Plus, even if we do want to take that job, a bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel supplies. Yeah, I'll take a look. While you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew, too, Serafin shrugs. Many hands make light works. Or we stop messing around, we take Carson's job right now, get it done before he thinks twice. Seems like a whole bad options to me. I mean, I have 2 5s. I don't know how many dice we need, but part of me wants to say let's do it because I don't know if I'm going to have 5s again. Either way, I still got to work on the drive. He nods farewell, leaning back in the room. Let me know when you decide. For a moment, you pause, letting the haze in your plan settle in your mind. Suddenly, you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight, your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift, as if some connection has broken. It's almost impossible to describe. You're floating away from your body, disappearing, dissolving, dispersing. There's nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth. And then another shift comes and you're back in your body, crumbling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb, and then a residual flicker. You flex in 0G, stretching out the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain. A disconnection between your body and yourself. A flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or if there's some new sensation you'll have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it could persevere for countless cycles. This is true. We have no idea. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they're yours again. Time is the only thing you need, and right now it feels like you're running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. Ooh, you have unlocked a contract. Open the map screen to view it. Deliver the data core or buy the feed lines. So it didn't remove the option to buy the feed lines. That's good. Okay. What did it say? I'm so confused. It said I have like a new something, but I don't know what. All right, contract board. Disable signals 200? Wow, okay. Buy a signal contract. This opens the contract to Hexport administrators and requires a fee to be paid to receive the coordinates of the job. Yikes. So I have to pay 10 to get this. Station management have located a Conway signal. They're concerned to see this one so close. You're looking for someone to disable its source. That could be engineering. Okay. Okay, that's all good. Where's my quest? Okay, so they're telling me my recruiting the quest is here. Chat with crews is how I recruit. Or explore the docks. Oh man, I don't want to use I think we do need a crew, and it seems like... Here, we'll go back. My character specifically has +2 to the lowest die. Oh, that doesn't say for crew. I think I got confused. I don't know what the +2 to the lowest die is. Like, I don't know how I focus. I would like to focus, please. But yeah, I still don't know what's happening. But that's how I get more crew. That's how I buy a contract. I'll have to eat tomorrow. Ah, boy. I really want a crew. I think I just have to go with the crew. I mean, this is a minor contract, so this would actually also, if I'm understanding how it works, if I do this, then I get 1 point. 1 point doesn't buy me anything, but eventually it will. Be my first point. Okay, essentially what I'm debating is I have 2, so most likely I can finish this. If I get a positive result, maybe I can do both, but I also want money, and I have such a high roll that, and this is engineering. You know what? Never mind. This is engineering, assuming or hoping this is here in the future. I can do this as a way to make money, and it is my engineering skill, so maybe I can do this with a 3 or a 4 and do just fine. So let's look at it that way. Let's look at it that way. Let's buy this contract. Like, we have just enough money for a snack, but I'm going to wait to eat until tomorrow, and hopefully that's not a mistake. Now, we're going to use our 5s here and hope. Okay, that's good. We got 3 on that one because it was a positive outcome, which means even if we get a neutral outcome, we probably, I think we'll be fine. So let's do that. Positive outcome again. Anyways, it's a little unfortunate we didn't get any like money or scraps or anything else. Okay. Gliding across the dock of the concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise, raised voices cut through the conversation. Because it said dangerous, so it would have been nice to get like an additional reward. Glancing down the alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab bags slung over their shoulder. You don't like the way... Oh, probably not that. Probably not that. Oh boy, this is interesting. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Serafin told you to keep your head down. We're going to wait for it. These are not skills that we have a good chance. You slip back from the alley entrance, pressing yourself against the wall. This is not your fight. You look around to see if anyone might be coming. Most of the spacers are near the dock. You hear a shout and a series of impacts. You turn back to the alley, see figures gliding straight down towards you. Pull back as they shoot out and disperse into the crowds, a bag in their hands. Moments later, an imposing figure follows them out, stopping at the threshold to try to spot where the assailants went. He turns to you, suddenly spotting you lurking by the wall. You see those scumbags? The man shakes his head. Bunch of cowards. They're headed into the docks. He squints at you, perhaps noticing you're a sleeper. New here? Just arrived. I'll be honest. The man laughs. He grabs the thumb over his shoulder. Welcome to Hexport. Man, positive. I've got to ask you, you didn't have anything to do with those guys back there, did you? No. All right, he shrugs. Had to ask. The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of those bags and pushes it towards you. Here, make yourself useful. Let's head out. You get the strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridge. He cuts down a side passage, looking back to check you are following. And then he stops at the docking bridge connection to a dull green ship with yellow markings. You look out the viewing window. It's an odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate holes welded together. Thimble Crash, he says. And you assume that's the ship's name. Femi, you bring in strays? A young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she glides and drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Well, Nia, if you'd come to help, you wouldn't need to find a porter. He glances at you. No offense. I'm a stray and a porter. Nina sighs. What are you on about? Thank you, greatly, for the raid, and let's jump right back into it. Appreciate you all being here, and if you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask. I may or may not be able to answer them. But tomorrow you'll see I'll get a new set of dice, and you'll see kind of the main mechanic of the game. But there's a lot of dialogue, and there's a lot of talking. Nina sighs. What are you on about? She glances at you. I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance. For whatever he did. Nia, Fermi murmurs, enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nina rolls her eyes at you, but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bag. We're gonna load them back up. Maybe we'll find a use for them. Sleeper, he shoots you a look. Guess he knows I'm a sleeper. Take my advice. Stop hanging around the docks like a stray. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the dock bridge on his way to the Symbol Crash, which is the name of his ship. Nina eyes you nervously. Did my brother promise you payment? I'm sorry, we don't have much to give. Nothing like that. Oh, okay. She glances around awkwardly. Did, Nina pauses. Something happened? Your brother was attacked. Really? Nina shakes her head. My brother does have a habit of getting into trouble. It wasn't his fault. She raised an eyebrow. Are you sure about that? Actually, I'm not sure about that. Things have been a little difficult, she sighs. Sleeper, can I ask you something? Sure. Like, will I be able to answer? I have no idea. Don't have much of a memory. She takes a deep breath and then gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for a crew? She looks away. I am looking for a crew. How fortunate. I mean, I clicked the quest looking for a crew and it told me to go here, so... I mean, put two and two together. Today we are just about to finish our St. James organic brewed tea. This one is classic mango. No sugar. No sugar. It does have caffeine. It doesn't say how much caffeine, which I feel like anything with caffeine should say the milligrams. But it is in a little aluminum bottle, and it feels very nice, and it's very delicious. The ingredients are black tea, lemon juice, natural flavor, and stevia leaf extract. And I happen to like stevia. Although I don't taste the stevia, so some people have a pretty negative reaction towards stevia. I can taste it even though I don't mind it. Sorry to be direct, but you seem, well, if you're in Hexport, maybe you're with a crew. She stops herself. I mean, maybe you're looking, maybe your crew needs crew. Maybe you're looking... I am. Okay. She struggles to hide her smile. He looks back at the ship. Then you... look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? She's a kid. But he still sees me like one. She shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? I'm gonna say, shouldn't I ask your brother? Because I thought we were gonna get them both in the crew. Oh, she's gonna be mad about this, but whatever. I don't care. That's exactly the point. She shakes her head. No, you shouldn't have to ask my brother. Okay, I told you she's gonna be mad. Maybe that was a mistake. She catches herself. Sorry, she pauses. I'm a good salvager, all right? You can use me. She smiles. I can spot things, find gaps, ways in. She folds her arm across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. I just feel like you're part of his crew already. That's why I should ask. Not because you're young or his sister, also that. But Like, you're part of his crew. I don't want to be poaching from other people's crews. She glanced at the ship. Just consider it, all right? Let me prove myself. Suddenly, a shout comes from the ship echoing down the passage. Femby makes you both nervous. Nina looks in the direction. I should go. She pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. She gives you one last glance as she departs and then disappears the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Can I say yes? Can I say yes? Is it too late to say yes? What's at the warehouse? So, new location unlocked, the warehouse. So, this is where I would put my dice. I have no more dice, so I can't do this one yet. A warehouse of the Hexport dock supply industry. Station meaning they need constant loading and restocking. Okay. I don't know what that does, but I can't do anything with it right now. So I completed a quest, which means I now have 1 skill point. I can't do anything with 1. This would take 4, this would take 4, this would take 4, this would take 2. So I can't do anything with 1, but I have it. It's too late for today. I'll get dice. But, I mean, it's weird too because I just completed the quest, recruit local crew. And she just, like, peaced out. So, like, did I complete it? There's a contract here, or there's a riskier job we need to do. I have a theory. Well, let's go here, see if there's anything to do here. I guess my plan for today, although I have 9 monies. Why is this green? I can't do anything here. Or not green, but yellow. Oh, because it's get fuel and supplies. Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry, I did something wrong. I purchased a contract, and it says they advise you to go to the contract board and help pay for your escape. Finding one should be easy. So I need to get fuel and supplies to do the contract. That's bad. I don't have enough money for that. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So my other crew member, I can give him different tasks. So I guess, do we want odd jobs or fuel? We're gonna go fuel. So there's nothing more we can do today. We're out of dice and I've clicked on everything. So we're gonna end cycle. We're hungry. Hopefully we just lose 1 hunger overnight. I don't actually know how this is gonna work. Okay, just 1 hunger. We're good. These are pretty good. 2 5s and a 6. That's solid. So I think I'm going to use this day, and here's the circle. Like when this ends, we get game over. I think if we're not out of here by now. Let's see. First of all, let's see if anything has changed. Okay, there's nothing new on the board. I don't know how we like recruit the girl. Like I'm a little unsure. So now my goal for today is to make as much money as possible. So this is a dangerous engineering job. We have good engineering skills. We're proficient, so we get plus to die, but not quite plus enough. Okay, we can't do anything there. I actually am not sure what to do. I think today we want to maximize our earning. Today is just going to be spend the die to earn. I think. Freight loading. Okay, so we don't want to do freight loading. Maybe if we have a 6. Wow, a 6 goes down to a 4. That's rough. So we're not going to do that. So we're not freight loading today. Let's go to the canteen. That's just for eating. Go back to the contract board. We already have the contract. Okay, action unavailable. There's actually not much we can do today. We can play this gambling game. Is that what I used my 3 on? Yeah, okay, interesting. So this is the first day where we're not trying to like really accomplish a major goal. I guess the warehouse could be good. I don't know what we get out of this, though. It's unclear, like, if we were successful, what would we get? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's just do this one. This is, so this I have 1 skill in. If we look at, like, my character skills, this is how, these are my character skills. So these give you plus and minus to dies. So this one we have, if I do a 5, then it's just a 5. So all scrapyards have paid data, diffusal, work to offer, as old tech tends to be laced with protocols and countermeasure needing disabling. Okay, oops. I'm bad about the clicking. Triple S is constantly processing scrap. Okay, so I think we do the 5 here because the 5 becomes the 6, so that's 100% positive. Let's just do 1 and see what happens, because I just don't know. Okay, we got 12 money. That's good. That's a positive outcome. Positive outcome is 12 money. I actually would have expected it to be more, to be honest. So let's do the 6 here, and let's see. That's 10 money. Okay, that makes sense. This is dangerous and that's risky. I should have thought of that. But you know what? We tried. I mean, is this it? Is this what I do with the last of my die? I mean, maybe. Maybe that's all we do today? I don't think there's anywhere else. No, I don't think there's anywhere else we can earn money. Also, like, can I still recruit that girl to my crew? I feel kind of dumb. Like, I would really like to get her on my crew, and I don't know where she's at now. Let's go back to the rig. Maybe there's something here. This is where the crew is. My kind of head's covering it up a little bit, but no, there's nothing to change here, so not there. Okay, how much is fuel? Biofuel is 5. I don't know how many we need. Supplies are 15. We have 2 supplies. Okay. I mean, it just seems like such a waste. I feel like I'm barely earning any money with these odd jobs. Okay, let's go here, and I'm going to risk my 3 to gamble here and see what happens. Because I could make 13 down there. So I got 9. With a positive outcome. That's pretty good considering how unlikely that was. Let's buy some food here. This costs 7. The 13 would fill up my whole health. So what does 7 bring? This gave me plus 2. Okay, so 13 is a better deal. But I just wanted to see because I hadn't done it before. And let's go ahead and let's finish off our earning for today. We're at 45. Kind of really would have much preferred. It felt like I didn't earn very much. Give us the money. Yeah, exactly. It feels like I did not earn very much. So we're going to go to the bunk, and I'm going to spend my 1 on recovery. I have a 50% neutral and a 50% negative. Because it's safe, the negative will just be nothing, I think. Let's find out. Negative. Recovery failed. So just nothing happened. And that's it. That's all we did today. This has been the least eventful day so far, but we did earn some money. We can buy some fuel. Let's buy 1 fuel. I mean, we're going to have to anyways. But part of me is just like, how many fuel do I need? Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. So let's go here. Just before we end our day, I would like to know how many fuel we need. No? All right, we're going to end our cycle. Kind of a ho-hum day. Okay, decent dice roll, I would say. 2 5s and a 6. That feels good. Looks like we got a fuel from the from our crew member. what happens is you have a chance of your crew member doing like whatever you happen to click on. I guess I'll do supplies now. I guess I should have done supplies since they're worth more than fuel. It's fine. Okay. Now it's not telling me I need... It says complete the Conway signal contract, but it's not telling me I need to buy more fuel, so maybe we have enough for that now. Actually, there's no directions at all. What's this? What is this? What is this? Contract. I was like, something up here was glowing. Okay. Contracts are high-risk, high-reward jobs that you and your crew can take on. Contracts require preparation and care to succeed. Gather enough fuel to travel to the contract. Gather as many supplies as you can afford to keep you and your crew going. Oh, so it seems like maxing out your supplies is ideal. Look for opportunities to recruit crew, temporary or permanent, to help you on the contract. Well, I may have messed that up. Consider which crew to take carefully. They have different skills and stress resistances. It can affect the story. Once you're ready, you can select the contract from the map and then your crew to proceed. So we don't want to do this one yet. This one's going to be very difficult. That's a storyline one. So what is this? Solheim, confirm vector. No. Not yet. Conway signal. So if I can... Okay, it uses 2 fuel. And then the supplies are as many as you want to take. So that's why. Okay. There's nowhere here that tells me, like, where's my crew? Alright, we're gonna buy supplies. Ooh, I don't know if I have the money for that many. We're going with 3 supplies. This could be... we have to do this. This is, like, I guess the point of the game. So, map. What's this? That's rig. That's explore. Okay. Glitch, push. Okay, I don't have those skills yet. All right, we're doing it. Okay, so we can... So this person is part of the other... this is our crew for the other person, the other quest. So we click on her. I don't know what these dots mean. Maybe that's how many dice they have. Or that's stress. Skills. I don't remember what skill that is. Hold on, let's look. Unfortunately, I can't pull up my own skills very easily. That's Intuit, which is like intuition. So that's her skill. Okay, so now we go back here. We confirm. Not really confirming if you can just back out, but whatever. So she's got 1 more intuition than me, and he's got other skills. This is our main dude. He's going with us no matter what. Okay. Oh, filled. So we actually can only do 1. All right, travel to contract. This is the first contract, so I'm hoping the game kind of goes a little easy on us. But I don't know. I have good dice. I have some good dice, so that's kind of what I'm hoping is... Wait, what happened to my dice? Are these his dice? These might be his... I hope these are his dice, because I had better dice. And do I just lose... Do I just lose my dice? Is this something... Should I have done this contract at the end of the day, because I just lost my dice and I could have made another, like, 40 credits? It's a drone. Serafin spots the source signal, light barely simmering off the dark hole. A design trait that betrays its covert use. A flash catches your attention, and you see a rent in the hull, through which red light pulses. Wounded, Serafin shakes his head. Wish they finished the job. You've seen one before? Serafin looks back over his shoulder towards you. We've seen one before. Don't you... Sorry, I know, it's not your fault. I don't remember anything. He looks at the drone. Lane had us working on one in Darkside Bay. Though it was barely a shell, disarmed and deactivated, he had us searching through its guts for salvage. Even that one gave me the creeps. And it had its core ripped out. Oh, he pushed the ship closer. This one's still alive. Conway, kisses her teeth. Corporate scum. You glance over at her and see the fire in her bright eyes. They don't even dare to come here and force us out themselves. It's proxies and drones, shakes her head. Typical core-bred cowards. You've run into them before? She glances you. You might say that. She looks out the drone. You won't see me taking my eyes off that thing for 1 second. Serafin carefully guides the ship closer. You watch the drone. System is full of these things now, running missions for their operations. Rare to see one out in the belt, though. Maybe got hit during a run-in with the Senate stat mercs? I don't know. Looks like it's drifting. Most of the system's blown out, but look there. He jabs a finger towards the red light on the far side of the drone. It's still broadcasting and maybe even receiving. Can it attack us? Unlikely. Would have blasted us already. Comforting, Nina looks. Serafin brings you even closer. What I remember from the dark side job is that the central core and the broadcast array need to be shut off to kill these things. Core will turn off local systems, and the broadcast array will sever the link to the Conway operations. But you can bet those systems are protected. Well, let him explain. Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. Sing is rigged to blow, sleeper. He frowns. You go slow and careful, and we don't touch anything we don't know about. I really would like to know if, I think these are my dice, and I'm so bummed because I had a full thing of dice before I left that I could have gotten really a lot of good stuff with. And I don't know if that was on the tooltips, but if the tooltip was like, this will be the next day, you lose all your dice, then I wouldn't have done it this way. Turns his back to Nina. You hear that? I got you. She looks sincere. Serafin brings the rig to a stop, close enough for you to cross through open space and reach the drone's hull. Let's suit up. You head down to the airlock and prepare. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system. The war that this drone was driven from. Out here, on the shore of the conflict, the biggest danger that this flotsam and jetsam drifting in with the tides and orbits of a system might, one cycle, bring war with it. For now, the belt is outside of its reach. But looking at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Okay, that's his dice, So I did get new dice, and I'm upset. I really wish that was more clear. I had really good dice. I could have gotten 40 more credits for the day and accomplished all kinds of things, and now I'm really bummed. I'm really annoyed. I wish that was more clear. Welcome to your first credit. And these are terrible dice, by the way. So, I have 1, 4, 2, 3s. That sucks. A 1 and a 2? This is my worst roll of the whole game, and it's on a contract. Okay. As you would assign your... okay. On the contract, you'll be able to assign 2 dice for each crew member as you would assign your own dice. Pay attention to the crew's skill and use them effectively. Okay. I get confused about what skills mean, but okay. On certain outcomes, your crew will take crew stress. When their stress is full, you'll no longer be able to use them to perform actions. Okay. While on a contract, your energy bar will automatically be supplied for each cycle that you have available supplies. When your supplies are depleted, both you and your crew will take 1 stress per cycle. Oh, geez. Okay. All these things would have been nice to know before I left. Contracts also have their own contract stress. When the bar is full, contract will fail. Good luck. Oh, this is going to be a multi-day thing. Let's go on our own let's go here first. Okay, so yeah, I can end the cycle here. Oh yeah, yeah, we are not ready for this. I am so annoyed. I am genuinely annoyed. This is confusing to me. Oh, this is me. This is him. This is her. Okay. Wow, we have terrible rolls between us. So we want the dangerous one to be good, but he doesn't have any skill in that. That's the best we can do. 25% chance of being negative. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay. Okay, let's go. Hull damage. Okay. Yeah, this is going to take us probably more than 1 day, so... Yes. Okay, so this is my skill. 50% positive, 50% neutral. That's fine. We're going to do that. This is my skill. We're going to do this, no matter what. We already know this. Okay. +3. That's the best outcome. We got positive, so that's good. I'll probably do this one too. Probably. What do we got here? So this is interface. Anybody have that skill? Okay, I have that skill, but at a very low level. Yeah, I think we're in a lot of trouble. I am very annoyed that I lost my good dice before I came here. I cannot express to you how annoyed I am at this. So he's got a 5. So what's that look like over here? That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. So this 4 turns into a 4. Okay, and now we're doing this action. We all have pretty mediocre dice. Neutral outcome, so 1 broadcast. I don't know how we're gonna do this with 3 supplies. Yeah. I'm like kind of annoyed. Like, I would like to reload. That's not a thing in this game. Would like to reload. She can't do that one at all. She can do this one. She's proficient in this one. Neutral outcome. I didn't even get the best outcome, so she got stress. If you look down here, she got a stress, which is not great. Okay, so I mean, her 2 becomes a 3. You know what? We're doing it. Let's get lucky this time. That time we got lucky. +2. So that's best case scenario. All right, so she's out of dice. I've got a bunch of dice, but what the heck am I going to do with these? I guess we have to use these here. Positive outcome. Great. Getting lucky. I mean, this is what we're proficient in, so I guess we'll use this here too. I don't know. Wow. Let's celebrate that luckiness there for sure. 50%. Yeah, that gives us a 2. Gives us the same percentage, ironically. Let's do it. Come on. Neutral. We got 1 stress, but that's okay. During a contract, you can use your push ability once per cycle. I don't know what a cycle is. Is a cycle still a day? To give you an edge in a tricky situation. Pushing accrues 1 stress, but will give you a key advantage based on your chosen cash. Okay, so this is the first time we can use push. You can see your current push configuration if you hold your mouse over the button on your character screen. Your push cannot be used at a hub. Oh, so the push is only on contracts. When at a hub, it can be upgraded. Okay, that's why I haven't been able to use it. You just gain some stress. As your stress increases, you have a much higher chance of taking damage to your action dice. I don't know what that means, but okay. So we've gotten kind of ridiculously lucky. I think this is too risky. Any way you slice it. This is, yeah. This is too risky. We have 2 more. If we could get this done. The thing is, when these things fill up, you almost always need to rest and do the next day. So I would like to fill that up, but I can push. So what does my push do? +2 to my lowest die. Let's do it. How do I do it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Give me a stress and give me +2 to my lowest die. Oh, here. Okay. Let's do it. We'll go here. Let's go. Come on. We want to fill this up today. Yes! Neutral outcome, not great, because we got stress. Now we have 3 stress. But the thing is, you want to fill this up because it usually takes a whole cycle. So now this is full, so that's something we can deal with tomorrow. Or maybe right now. Never mind. You hear beeping immediately. Maybe right now. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something has started counting down. That's probably bad. Guys, Nina's voice comes hissing through the suit's comm channel. Does anyone hear that? Because I'm getting nervous. Shoot. Serafin's voice turns her. This is what I was worried about. Are we screwed? I can't be sure. Serafin's dropped his voice to a whisper, as if that might make a difference. Either this thing is about to send out a distress call, or it's about to blow. We've got to shut down the system fast, he pauses. We don't have any more dice today, so we're in trouble. Then we move to the other side, because I bet there's a surprise waiting for us there, too. We're good, Nina sense. Am I heading back to the ship, or what? Serafin cuts in. We're good. We keep going, and he shuts off the channel. We take a moment in the silence. All right, time to deal with this fast. Okay, I think that's what we did. Like, this is the story explaining what the dice just did by filling up that channel, so we're okay. We take a moment of silence. All right, time to deal with this fast. Then we get over to the other side before something happens. Okay. So, like, we did it. Oh, new location discovered? Oh, no. I mean, he still has a die, but he can't do anything with this. She's got this skill, but she's got no more dice. Drone death. Okay, so drone countermeasure. So I'm guessing fails probably are here. Or no, each cycle is here, and so we need to complete this before this. So we need her to roll good dice to complete this. But we don't have that right now. We have him and him only, and that is too risky. All right, so what are we going to do with his final dice? We could do it here. We could do that. We could do that. That might be the best option. Let's assume that's the best option, but also, what does this do? Nothing. Rest and recover we actually can't do while we're on a mission, so never mind. This is what we're doing. We're using your dice here, and I would love a positive outcome. Neutral outcome with no stress added is fine. Broadcast access, perfect. All right, that's actually pretty good for one day, especially considering all the terrible dice we rolled. So I'm going to end cycle, and I guess we lose the supply. Again, if I had known we were going to lose our dice and all of that, then I could have done really great stuff. All right, so really bad dice. You've taken damage to a dice because of stress. When your dice are rolled at the start of your cycle, your stress dictates if you take damage or not. Higher stress means a higher chance of damage. The white markers above the stress bar will tell you which number will damage your die when rolled. I don't understand. Each die has 3 dice health. When this is depleted, the dice will break and must be repaired to use normally. That's a little more generous than the first game, because the first game you just had a bar that went down and you just like lost dice. That was stressful. The markers above our stress, we got that. The layout of these markers deplete depending on your difficulty. At the hub, you can reduce stress. Okay, but I can't do that today. Typically, broken dice cannot be used. However, on safe difficulty, they can, and they're counted as 1. Oh, okay. If you have many broken dice and feel stuck, consider switching to safe in the pause menu. That's actually kind of cool. You can change the difficulty at any time. And so if you get completely wrecked, which we might, then you can just put the game on safe mode, and then you don't have negative consequences from using dice. So like that's, at least they give you a chance to go forward, and it's not just game over 20 minutes in because you're not very good at the game. Which is like, I'm starting to feel like might be me. She rolled great though, so we're actually really in good position there. He rolled a 1 and a 5, so the 1's not good. There's nothing we can do with the 1. Okay, but what I've not figured out is the white markers above the stress bar will tell you which numbers will damage your dice when rolled. The white markers. I don't know what that means. The white markers above your stress? A 2? Is that what this means? I don't know. There's 3 dots here. Like, what? No, this is a 1. So these are 1s. Oh, if I'm stressed. Oh, okay. So at this level of stress, rolling a 1 does damage to my die. And my 2 damage dies are 1s. Is that what I'm reading? Is that just a coincidence that my damage dies are 1 and that's what will damage dies? Or did the dies damage doing... I lost my alliteration, but basically I don't know what's happening right now. But you know what I do know? I do know we have a 100% positive chance of this. And we got 2 out of 3 core disabled. And we have a 50% positive, 50% neutral. I like that. Neutral will probably give us +1. Neutral gave us +1, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I said we needed her to roll 2 good die. That's the most important. So we actually did that correctly. So core disabled, but drone death is still only 1. So I think that means we have to do this again tomorrow, and I don't know if she's going to roll that many good dice tomorrow, so we'll find out. But yeah, it could have been worse. Okay, now we want to go to hull damage. This is also her skill, unfortunately. This is her skill. So we're going to use your 5 over here. That's your skill. And let's go. Let's hope for positive. We need 2+. Neutral outcome +1. That's it. I think this is like all we can do today. This is rough. I mean, I have a 6, so that's good. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can't use these ones at all. It'll damage the dice. If the dice are damaged, then you can't use them. I think I just got unlucky by literally getting a 1 on the only dice that will damage me if I roll a 1. So I think if this was a 1, then it would be fine. I don't know. Either way, I think we got unlucky. I don't think that's actually mechanic of the game. Mechanism of the game is probably a more appropriate word. All right, we're definitely not going to do that. Yeah, you know what? Let's start with a more dangerous one. Neutral outcome, I got +1 stress. So now if we roll 2s, we're in trouble. So that was a bad idea. That was very bad. And now we throw this out here. 100% positive success, no problem. +2 broadcast. It'd be great if I lost some stress too. So he's got a 1. He's got a 1 and I've got 1s and 2s, which will damage the dice. So let's go 50% neutral, 50% negative. This is a crazy thing we're doing. That was bad. Drone stress. Oh, look at this. Did you see this before? I sure didn't. It's rigged to blow. So probably don't do that. I sure didn't see it. All right, is there anything we can do in here that's just like... Does this reduce our stress? You need supplies to feed your crew. Cooking for yourself is an option on a contract. That's fine. But do we have anything that... No. There's nothing we can do. We can't cook because we just have supplies. And we can't... Like, we can't rest and recover. That's it. So this was 3 dice we couldn't use today. That's bad. If you got to think about that, I have 5, they have 2 each, so that's 9 dice. There was a third of dice we couldn't use, and we did use one of his and shouldn't have. So it was slightly over a third of the dice that we couldn't use, 4/9. Like almost half the dice we couldn't use. So let's not roll 1s and 2s. How about just 5, 6s? Let's Yahtzee this. Better. Better. Bad. Good. He rolled not great. He got a 3 and a 1 again. Okay. That other thing that was here is gone. So maybe I was wrong and we did it correctly. So let's do this. This is her over here. And this is him. So we can start with the 3. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's start with the 1. 50 positive, 50 neutral. Let's do that. And if we could just get a positive here. We got a neutral, which gave her stress, which I don't love. Okay, so what are our probabilities? I don't love these probabilities. It's better to go with the thing that's risky because less bad things happen. So let's go. Same probabilities here. Positive +2. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. 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 So the half drone death thing that was on the other side, and like the story was saying, let's clear this and go to the other side. So we did that. So we're good. Now this is interface. That's me. Yes, I'm the only one with interface skills, which is good. Let's what if we just get it in 1? Is that even possible? Positive outcome +2. So no, getting it in 1 was not possible. Let's do a 4. Come on. 25% chance of bad. Neutral. Amazing. Okay. This is very stressful. We're playing on essentially normal mode. There's like a hell mode, and then there's a safe mode. We're playing on normal. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded. You look across to Serafin and Ines and share a smile. You all exhale so loudly it can be heard over the suit's shared comm channel. The drone is dead. One less piece of Conway trash to worry about. Nina grins. We killed it. Don't get too excited, Serafin cuts in. It was looking pretty rough when we got here. You make your way back out of the hole. The drone now faintly rolling in one direction, stabilizes offline. I'm so annoyed that we lost all of her good dice before we got here. Ugh, there would be 40 more credits. Whatever. Sorry, I'm still annoyed. Nina catches up with you. She glides toward the rig. We make a pretty good crew, Sleeper. We do. We do. Grins widely. She punches you in the arm playfully. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the drone's dark hole. Catches the light as it rolls in the vacuum. So we had one more supply, which means we had one more day. So now we need to focus on getting our stress down. I think our crew's stress probably goes down automatically, like as we get back, but we need to get our stress down because we can't roll 1s or 2s. At some point in the near future, the drone will likely be smashed into pieces by one of the many asteroids of the belt spread across the place as twinkling dust. The thought pleases you, as does the thought of all the cryo the Hexport now owes you. Keep wanting to say crypto. Time to go collect. Yeah, this job was like 200. Contract secluded. You can now leave via the map. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing we can do on here, so we might as well. So I just lose these dice too. Fine. -5 stress during travel. Okay, so they make contracts difficult, but you do get some back. You will now leave the hub. Once you leave, you will not be able to return. Leave the contract. I hope so. I hope I did it right. Like, how do I know? Are these the dice I had before I left? Because it kind of makes me think they are. And now I don't have stress. After docking the Hexport, Serafin lets go of the controls and leans back to his chair. Nina leans over you. Thanks, Sleeper. She stretches. I know you took a chance on me. Thanks for helping. I'm actually glad to have you. You came through big twice. 2 out of 3 times. Her smile's infectious. Feels good to make contract work. Serafin smiles, no matter how we pull it off. Hard not to agree. Oh, wait. Do I have to split the money 3 ways? I mean, I should probably pay her something, right? It's hard to agree, and it feels better when the Hexport courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. Lane may still be hunting you, but this should help the effort to slip his net. Suddenly you hear a familiar voice. Nia, he's gonna be mad. Femi glides into view, approaching from the dock. He fixes you with a stare. What are you playing at, Sleeper? I'm gonna stay silent. Not my style, usually. Don't come throwing your weight around, Femi. I can make my own decisions. She glances back at you. Sleeper took me at my word, and I'm grateful. Femi is fuming. Did they know? He turns. Well, are you working for Sleeper? I hope they paid you well. Well, I asked, so... Oh, so they aren't paying you? Serafin crosses his arm. Let's keep this civil. You realize this is the first time he's meeting Femi. If we're being civil, seems like Nina is owed her share. Well, yeah, no, I'm fine with paying her, but remember... Oh, thank you, Grayley. I'm doing a good job reading. It is a struggle for me, but I have practiced a lot. And so, I think I'm doing, if you watch my last playthrough, I think I'm doing better than I did 2 years ago, hopefully. But here's the thing. We bought 3 supplies. That's 45 credits. We already had 2 fuels. But let's just say we used 2 fuels. That's 10. So that is 65 credits. We earned 200, so take 65 off the top. It's gone. So now we're at 135 credits. Do we split that 3 ways? It was our ship. I mean, but you paid for the supplies and the fuel used, but it was our ship. Let's ignore the fact that it was our ship. So 135 divided by 3, like, are we giving her 40? We giving her 45? I'll be annoyed if the game gives her 66 credits. Because, like, we had actual expenses. That has to be deducted from the top before we talk about splitting. But yes, we're going to pay a share. We grab around a quarter of the chits from the lockbox. A quarter would be 50. So that is actually about almost exactly what I was saying. She takes them sheepishly. All right then, Femi smiles. We're good here. He turns to leave. Nina mouths sorry and follows Femi across the dock. I was always planning on paying her. I just didn't know how we were going to do the accounting. So we gave her 50. No, is that how math works? Yeah, 50 is a quarter of 200. And by my math, she'd be 1/3 of... Oh, it's almost like, you know what it's like? It's like the ship gets a quarter, Serafin gets a quarter, I gets a quarter, and she gets a quarter. Like the ship, we'll just split it with the ship, essentially. So the ship made 5 credits also. I kind of like that. Like, if we did a better job with supplies and stuff, well, then the ship fund would do a little better. Do a little worse. Okay, I don't mind it. You sure know how to pick 'em, Sleeper. Shakes his head. I mean, we got the job done. We wouldn't have been able to do it without her. We literally would not have been able to do it without her. He turns away and heads back along the bridging dock. I just hope we aren't going to end up stacking a stack of cryo short when we need to get out of here. Oh, yeah. You've just completed a drive, that's quest. You've earned an upgrade point. You have push upgrades available. Go to the character screen. The push was cool on the mission for sure. But Do I want to spend 2 points on this, or do I want to keep saving and get like whole skills upgraded a full point, or engineering like +2? Probably into it +1 more. I think I save. I don't know. Minus stress on focus die, positive outcome. So that means when I do a focus, if I get, it gives me +2 to my lowest die, then I get -1 stress on a positive outcome. That's too many contingencies. I think I'd rather just go +3 to a die. I'm not gonna. This just seems so much better though, doesn't it? Like this gives me, I don't know. I don't need to spend it right now anyways, but it's there. Okay, so we did lose this many cycles when we were gone, so we have to complete this jobs by then. So what do I want you to collect? So we have 175. So we got Serafin share and the ship share also. All right. Yeah, what do we do today? Now I'm a little confused. I guess we go back to the contract board. There's nothing at the contract board. The dock is endurance. We don't have endurance, so if we used a 6, we still have a 25% chance to fail. So we're just not gonna do that one, I guess, ever. Yeah. No, well, maybe if we upgrade our endurance, then we can. Something to think about. Make us a more well-rounded character. This is buying the supplies. We don't need the supplies right now. We're full on food, which is good. We used one of our supplies, and that filled us up on food while we were there, and we lost all of our stress, which is very nice. This also means if you're gonna get -5 stress when you're traveling, so there's only one more contract, then you do want to use your push because it gives you stress. But yeah, I think we got to do this guy's job at some point, or we have 400 credits. I don't know. Kind of weird. It's sort of weird that there's no like mission right now. This feels very different than the first game. Like there was always so many missions. So I guess we just essentially let's try to build our scrap here just for money. Yeah, we're just gonna make money today. Yeah, okay, so we use the 6 here, and then that's a positive outcome, right? Wait, no, why do I do that? See, I keep doing that. I keep wanting to like maximize my dice, but that's the wrong choice. I did that last time. This is a less risky operation, and you get 10 credits. This one's more risky, and you get 13. So I don't need to use my 6 there. I could have used my 6 here. It doesn't matter. It would be like a 7, but it doesn't matter because we just get more credits anyways. I don't know why I do things like that. Well, that's 12. I thought we got 13 before. Interesting. I would like to repair my dice. How do I do that? Maybe I should have tried to figure that out first. Do I repair my dice here? This is rest and recover. This will help you reduce stress when not on a contract. Okay, we don't have any stress. This is the galley to make food. How do I... It said if you broke your dice, you can repair them, but it didn't say how. Do we use our 1 to gamble? All right, we're gonna... Do we gamble? Is gambling a good idea? We're gonna try gambling. Neutral +5. That's interesting. Like, would that be better or worse than this? Because I probably would have gained stress. All right, 50% positive, 50% neutral. We got a lot of great dice roll this time. We lost an energy. That's interesting. A neutral outcome was the loss of an energy on this one because it's dangerous, and we only earned 10. Okay, I don't know what to do with our 1 die. Yeah, I don't know. We have like 200 credits now, I guess. Like, I don't know what to do with that. We only need to buy fuel and stuff. I feel like the game is telling us now we just go do this. Like now we just go do this quest, which is the more dangerous one. I would like to not have broken dice on the way there, but yeah, okay, we're gonna just do the next contract. I guess that's all there is. So let's fill up on fuel and let's fill up on supplies. Because I don't want to rest a day and then do that same thing where it's like, okay, what am I doing today? I guess I'm just making money today. Because ultimately I need to get the hoses to fix the ship. I can buy them for 400 or I can do this guy's mission. Can I collect 400 before this fills up? Maybe. But probably what will happen is I'll get the hoses and then he'll say, oh, before we do that, there's one more thing, and then I'll be out of time. But there's no circles. Circles are things you have to fill up in order to progress the story. There's not a single circle out here. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, all right, let's do it. I've used my die. Let's go on the mission. We'll take the person we have to take. I feel like this person is not with the guy who's telling us to do the mission, and she's lying, and for some reason our character doesn't bother to check that. So I think she's going to try to betray us. Travel to contract. But there's nothing I can do about that. That's just part of the story. And now, the rest of the story. Good rolls, except for the one, obviously. The rig, the solemn derelict, fills the cockpit window, all twisted plates and skeleton strutwork. He watched it in horror and fascination as Serafin completed the approach. Both of you silent in the presence of this decaying beast. Now, as you settle beside it, Serafin is the first to break the silence. This thing is already dead. Shakes his head. It's a corpse, sleeper. He nudges the ship closer, looking for a place to dock. I touched this thing too hard and it crumbled to dust. What were you expecting? I was expecting, Serafin squints, adjust the rig's thrust. A scrap contract, like you said, not a death trap. Take us up there. That's the bridge. Junie points towards the end of the ship. Both you and Serafin turn around, having forgotten that she was even in the cockpit. She hasn't said a word since you departed. She glances both of your bemused faces. What? She looks away. Sorry, that's where we need to go. She stopped pointing. Serafin nods towards Junie. She's not wrong, sleeper. The bridge would be a good start. Well, everybody wants to go to the bridge. Let's go to the bridge. Let's do it. Serafin takes control of the ship, avoiding the debris field closer to the center of the wreck. He settles in a position near a protrusion at the far end. This is as far as I'll go. Serafin taps the anchoring controls. We should be able to anchor the ship to those plates. You hear Junie begin to protest from behind, but it's too late. Serafin fires two anchor lines at the nearest solid hull plates. They slam into the plates, and despite their solid appearance, they instantly shatter. The fragments spin out across the wreck, slicing into other plates and building a spiraling storm of debris. Uh-oh. Shoot. Serafin nudges the ship back and steadies it as debris cascades across the surface of the wreck. The damage seems mostly superficial, but it underlines just how fragile the derelict is. Let's not do that again, Junie glances between the two of you. The data core will be very fragile, so we've got it, Serafin snaps. He angrily unclips from a seat. Last thing I need is a backseat driver. He kicks off and glides past her. into the corridor. Speaking of that, backseating always welcome on my show. However, I may not take your advice. Be prepared for that. And no story spoilers. So if you happen to have played this game, I don't know how well it sold. So I don't know if any of you have played it. But if you have, no story spoilers. He kicks off and glides past her. Sorry, Junie. Let's go. I'll just follow him. Follow behind Serafin down the passage with Junie close behind. As you reach the airlock... Oh, my ear itches. Oh, my ear itches. Oh, there it is. He already angrily suiting up, his frustration evident. I'm going to say keep your cool. I mean, he's usually a pretty cool cucumber, so this is a little unusual. Yeah, he glances at Junie. No hard feeling, right? He checks and seals his shoulder. But this is a job, not a social event. Okay, good. I feel like that was a pretty good response to somebody saying keep your cool. You tell somebody to keep their cool, you don't know how they're going to respond. That's a risky proposition, but it seems to work out. There's a lot of talking, which actually I'm pretty much always talking anyways, but it feels like a little bit more. So I'm going to drink a little. There we go. Ooh, delicious. The rest of the preparation process takes place in tense silence. Each of you considering the delicate job ahead. You suit up too. But you don't need a helmet to breathe, because I'm a robot. You slide one on and lock the seals for protection. This wreck isn't going to give its salvage up easily. Close enough? The core should be near the bridge, maybe even inside it. But there's a lot of wreck here. There might be good salvage tucked away in the cargo hold. Oh, yes. Once the suits are on and the seals are checked, you cycle the lock and stare out of the vast expanse of the twisted hulk before you. Time to go to work. Ooh, good rolls down here. 2 6s? He's got 2 6s. I don't know what we're gonna need yet, but that's amazing. It's already got 2 stress. So something happens at 1 more stress. There's a little exclamation point. And then this is probably the whole thing blows up. Okay, so, but great first roll. I have 2 5s and 2 4s. I don't know what for, but we're going to find out. And then she's got a 6 and a 4. Like, yeah, we're off to a really good start. And they don't have overlapping skills, which is good, but obviously, like, that's part of the story. It would be very strange. This is my skill, so we're good here. This is his skill, so we're good here. So I think we literally have 4 100% positives between these two, so that's good. Positives usually give 2, sometimes 3, so that might just be right there where we get started. Let's see what we've got over here. Neither of these are her skills, so that's probably going to come in later. I might... Ooh. Yikes. I'm the only one that can do this. So we might use my high rolls here. Don't roll snake eyes, I know. Well, I do have a 1. We won't be using that today at all. I've learned my lesson there. We could use our push and get a little stress, but I don't know that that's going to accomplish anything, turning a 1 into a 3. And now in hindsight, I probably should have used I should have leveled up. Oh, darn it. I should have leveled up my push skill before we left, because now that would have given me a +3. I should have. The game told me to. The game was like, hey, use your points on this, and I didn't. And you can't do it on a mission. I don't know why you can't do it on a mission. That actually kind of makes no sense. Okay, so this only has 4. So this is how we're going to open up other areas. So I do think we kind of need to prioritize this. Oh, we kind of need to prioritize this because this is going to open up other areas, which will give us the ability to, like, for example, use her dice. Or right now we don't have anywhere good to use her dice. Because this is cargo bay doors, find access point. And then this one is airlock. So, yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. So let's plan it out. I would like to fill one of these today because that generally helps. This is me. Okay, so that's one way to think about this. This is the one I'm best at. So I could probably do a 4 down here. Okay, I should probably use my 4s. Neutrals might give me stress, but probably not because it's risky. For dangers, neutrals probably will. So I could use my 2 4s there. Let's think about that. I can use my 2 4s, and then... Ooh, boy. Okay, so she does not have that skill at all. That's why I was checking that. She also doesn't have this skill at all. Yeah, okay, so she can't do anything here. She can't do anything here. So that means it's up to the 2 of us. So he could do this. He could. That's still, that a 6 is a 6. That's what's so great about that. Okay, so let's do this. I hope this is the right thing because I just think this is going to open up more areas. That gave us +3. That is really good. That means a neutral probably will be +1. So like I almost want to do that or something. That seems crazy. We can guarantee, okay. All right. A positive is +3. Yeah, she can't do anything here too. So okay, let's put a 4 in here. This is risky. This is positive or neutral. Okay, +2 for positive. Now we know. That's +2. Which means like I probably don't want to use a 6. Using my 4 here is actually probably pretty good. Let's do it again. Another +2, that's great. So 1, 2, 3, assuming we get all positives, we still need 3 more dice in here. So 1, 2, 3, we can do that right now. We need to get this. We need to get 1 more here. And the problem is her dice are so bad. Or not her dice, her skills. Her dice are good. Oh. I can guarantee this open with my skills. Oh no, I can't. Never mind. Oh no, he can do this one. Oh yeah, I'll say I can guarantee this open between the 2 of us. My 2 dice and his. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. I want to fill up one of these circles at least. This one has more. This one has more circles, so it sort of kind of tells me that. Okay, what are her chances here? No, I can't do this one because it's danger. I could, well, hold on. But I could do it over here in risky. This is a bad idea, Sleeper. All right. You know what? Let's do this and hope that it opens up an event where we can use her dice. Like, we overdid that one. Continue. Okay, so we got a little bit of more story. Bridge of the derelict lies silent. The pale beams of your suit lamp catch rows of terminals and clouds of glittering dust. Wires wave like seaweed, and the whole scene appears as if underwater, chaotic but still. Junie glides past you, disturbing the dust and taking you... Oh! That's right. The thing we're going for is probably on the bridge. Actually, we probably should have done this one first. I think the other one is going to help us with the loot and money and stuff. So, yeah, maybe this was the right choice. Disturbing the dust and taking you by surprise as she does. She's been a stoic presence so far, but in this moment she seems drawn forward by some force of curiosity. You watch as she bats away the debris and begins checking the terminals. What are you doing? Junie doesn't seem to hear you, or at least ignores you. She's already prying an access panel off one or more intact-looking terminals. And as she does, puffs of rust color the vacuum around her in red. We're going to approach her. She turns back to the terminal and finishes prying out the plate, then quickly she reaches inside, fishing around for something. Her hand comes back out with a waving cable topped by a thick connector. As soon as she sees it, she slips a keyboard-sized deck out of somewhere of her person. She runs her hand across the back until she finds the right port and slots in the connector. All this happens in a few seconds. The routine, practice, and precise. It's hard not to be impressed. Not your first ship? She glances at you, nervously looking, a nervous look on her face. Does she think you're accusing her of something? She shakes her head and goes back to work. Junie's fingers dance around the deck and keyboard and burst static lights up. And this lights up the screen terminal. The sudden burst of light and colors take you by surprise. Her fingers tap away, the terminal screens. I don't know if this is like, is she totally screwing us over right now? The terminal screen flashing with blocks of color and lines of code. It buzzes and vibrates. It's a long dead system forced back into a chaotic life. Then all at once, it goes dark. The terminal dead. Shoot. She hisses beneath her breath. Useless. You cannot tell if this is an insult directed to the terminal or herself. Find anything? She looks up at you as if she's just waking from a dream. No, she pauses. Nothing useful. She predictably slides her deck away. The cradle with the data core can't be far. She pushes off from the terminal, gliding away. I'll start looking. She calls back and heads to the other side of the bridge. Serafin glides up beside you. Everything all right? What do you think of Junie? The kid? You know better than me. Keeps to herself. She squints at her retreating form. Serafin stretches into suits. I have to admit, it's nice to be back working, especially now that we are the ones who will reap the benefits. He clasps you on the shoulder. Feels good to be taking our fate into our own hands. Oh boy. I know it's pretty rough there, back on the Hexport. But out here, we're just as likely to get shredded by debris as find that darn data core. But aren't you glad we made a break for it? He pauses and looks down, having asked the question almost by accident. I mean, I am. I just don't want to speak for you. I'm glad too. Serafin smiles. You better be. I didn't give up on that little dark side cupboard I was living in for nothing. He laughs at his own joke. Look, Serafin catches his suit, wrist seals, checks his suit, rift. Suit. I got this. Suit, wrist, seals. Yikes. You fell asleep for 2 hours, but you're back? People have told me that my voice is soothing. I don't find that to be true, but... So, it's okay if you fall asleep. I will. It is on my to-do list to do a sleep cast. Like a 4-hour sleep cast. Or a 1-hour sleep cast that I can repeat. Put that on YouTube. Once we've gone the distance, even if we manage to get that far, he furrows his brow. Don't feel you owe me. I know charity case. You want us to go our separate ways? Fine by me. He meets your eyes. Just do me the favor of telling me to my face. What? No, that won't happen. We are like, you saved my life. My first memory is you saving my life. Serafin nods, but it doesn't respond. After a moment, he shines this torch out of the dark, checking the rows of terminals across the bridge. You watch the glittering dust as it eddies into the beam. Let's get to it. Look, I don't remember my history of this guy, but he has been solid so far. Like, exactly what you want as a companion. You watch as he crosses the bridge, his torch probing... Oh, torch, the English word. Probing the dark corners. Feel a chill run through your body as you imagine the people that once ran the ship. The solemn crew, surely long dead. What was it like here before the collapse, when the system was a jewel in their crown? It's impossible to know now. The history is lost to you now. All you can do is pick what you can from the ruins. New location discovered. We were hoping for a new location, and let's hope we can use her dice. We can use her dice. It's almost as if I'm a genius. It is almost as if I am a genius. Or maybe I kind of vaguely understand how video games work. You give us a character we have to use, and none of her skills are useful. Probably there's somewhere else that will be useful. All right, that was good. I'm really glad it happened that way, because we literally have used everybody's dice, and we got, what, 2, 4, 6, 8? We got 8 good results. Almost a genius. I think I, like, as bad at video games as I am, I also do understand how they work. So, see, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. I would love... Should we do this? Should we be crazy? Speaking of sleep, you're off to bed? I mean... Should I do this? Well, I guess I would do this. Because it's less risky. Yeah, have a great night, Grayley. Oh, let me answer your question. Sorry, you said what's a sleep cast? A sleep cast is... Well, I have Mindspace. I got it for free a long time ago for life, so it doesn't really matter. But there is a... essentially, it's like... It starts off with like a little bit of a sleep meditation, and it'd be like, close your eyes, think about, you know, relax your shoulders, relax your blah blah blah, and it's like a meditation thing, and there's like 20 of these that are pretty standard, and these exist elsewhere outside the app, but then they tell a story. My favorite is Rainy Day Antiques, and so they just talk about, it's essentially like a nonsense story where there's like white noise like rain outside an antique store, and it's like you enter the antique store full of all these wonderful objects. There's no plot. So the point is that you kind of like, you just imagine yourself walking around this antique store, and it's like full of memories and stuff. My problem is I can't listen to this doesn't solve my problem. But my problem is the talking, they're only 45 minutes long, and the talking ends at like 20. And I do often fall asleep, but if I kind of like wake back up at like 30 and there's not a voice happening, then I wake up. Like it causes something in my brain. Which is why I end up listening to YouTube videos that are like 2 or 3 hours long, and I'll fall asleep to those. And then, like, I just listened to a 2-hour flat Earth debunk to fall asleep last night because kind of struggling a little, and that made me fall asleep because I'll wake back up and it's still going, and then I'll close my eyes and fall back asleep. So I do want to do a sleep cast, and I want it to be long, like a really long one. So, like, having a story and how you read the story and stuff. It's not something I could do live. It's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of editing, but that's my goal. All right, you go to bed. I just want to answer your question. One of these days I will do a sleep cast. Okay. So we're not, I feel like we're not desperate, but I would love to unlock this area today. This is essentially a 50% chance of unlocking it, but I could use my push ability. You know what? We're going to. This might be a huge mistake. We're going to use our push ability, and now it's 25-50, so 75% chance. If we fail this, then we have caused a lot of problems. Ooh, positive outcome. You'll do one, Grayley? You should totally do one. Listen to some examples first so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so now new location discovered. We used every single dice correctly. JM Cool Dude 22, thank you so much for the raid. How you doing? Playing Grand Theft Auto. Amazing. Okay, well, we can't do anything today, but just the fact that we got here is really good. So in day 1, we had 9 dice successful positive outcomes. That's literally as good as you can get. We used our push ability, and we didn't get stress from it. Oh, because -1 stress on focus die positive outcome. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's literally could not have been... There you go. Here's an example of your best possible day, everybody. That's what it looks like. We're too good at this. All right. well, not only do we have no dice, but there's literally nothing left to do. So end cycle, I believe we use 1 supply. Man, that could not have been a better day 1. Okay. We had a really good day 1, time for a not so great day 2. And that's okay. Because we literally had a phenomenal day 1. 9 dice, 9 successes. What more can you want? So we've got a 5 and a 1, and then over here we've got a 2 and a 3. So rough-a-rooney, not the San Francisco treat. So I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a timer on this one like there was the other one. The timer is we will run out of supplies. So let's take today and just be careful. That's kind of my plan. So I would say 99% chance we're going to use this die here. I think that's fair. Low probability that we're going to do that one. We probably won't do that one because it's dangerous. So yeah, we only have two places to go. So yeah, this just might. All right, let's read the text and then decide, because we can also use her die here. Just kind of unfortunately. Yeah. So I can use, let's see, what's this one? Probably not that one. It's risky and not dangerous, so that's good. So I could use, yeah, I hate that I have the 1s, because if I use my push, it'll up the 1 to 3. I would love to make a 2 to a 4 or a 3 to a 5 or something, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just looking around and I'm just thinking, like, right now we have, this is only 4, so we could just get this one done today, and maybe that's enough for today. All right, so this is map the bays. Countless vast bays extend from here deep into the derelict. Scanning and mapping each one of them will allow you to navigate them safely. Okay, scrap survey. This end of the derelict is partially intact. If you survey it, perhaps you can find some valuable scrap among the decay. So this still seems to be like I'm getting scrap and supplies, and we do want that. We need that to beat the game, whatever that looks like. This seems like getting the data, which is the main reason we're here. So both are important. That one we could like knock out though, so it would be kind of nice to just like have something completely knocked out. But I think it's also okay to come in here. No, what am I doing wrong? Yeah, this is just really unfortunate. I think we have to use his die here, and we have like a significant chance of failure. Just because otherwise we're not going to use any dice of his. Basically. We need to be careful though, because bad things will happen if we put stress on the ship. Yeah, boy, I'm really thinking of just like, what happens if I do a 1 here? 50% neutral, 50% negative? No, that's too bad. That is too risky. Yeah, we can do a lot of risky plays. All right, I think this one is more important. Just generally, I don't know that as a fact. So let's do this. Let's use her good die here. I do think this is probably more important. Don't have any specific reason to think that. I just. All right, we have a chance here. Oh, okay, +1 stress. So that's it. Oh, we got a neutral outcome. Okay, so that's okay. So we moved the bar twice, but we got a neutral outcome. That's not bad. Ooh. That makes me like I shouldn't do this. No, I shouldn't do this. I would do this one. Well, now I'm almost wanting to, like, knock this one out. Let's do it. This one is more important. We can't fail, but we got a neutral outcome plus 1 data core. Okay, so this one you get more. You get more on this one if you... Because it's dangerous, you get more reward. I should have realized that. I feel like I just wasted that die. Because what'll happen is tomorrow, he'll hopefully have a good die, and then we'll knock this one out. But I just did it to where essentially I had a high likelihood of success, but the success wasn't very good. I should have probably come over here and done this. Let's go ahead and do this. And we do have a chance of failure here. This is risky. Negative outcome plus 2 stress. That's surprising. That is surprising. That is a very negative outcome. We're not blowing up the ship though, so yeah, that's really too bad. That is really too bad. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and use my 6 here, which is only gonna give us 2. I'm just gonna do it because it's a guarantee, and everything else is a little riskier. So let's guarantee the one that can blow up the ship. This, I still think this is just for like supplies and stuff. So it's like, do I use her 1 and turn it into a 2? Do I do my push? Let's get really risky here. We need a 25% positive outcome. That is literally worst case scenario. So we got 2 negative outcomes on a 25% chance. So I was sort of joking about how good of a day 1 we had and how day 2 is going to be bad, but I didn't need to risk, especially that last one. So that last one, that was on me. So we're going to end cycle here. We have 3 dice we didn't even get to use, and it should have been 5 dice we didn't use, because I ended up hurting us more than I ended up helping us. So that's just really unfortunate. That is really, I did a not great job. All right, well let's use her. Let's use her 4 to become a 5 and get this one knocked out and see what's next. We can't fail this one. So that's done. New location discovered. Oh, nope. Okay. Core slice. So this is my skill that I have a little bit. Oh, this is my skill. This is where I really rock. So core data extraction, core data damage. I'm a little confused. I haven't quite seen a configuration like this before. So usually you pick one or the other and you build towards a common goal. It almost looks as if this one does this, this does this. They're connected by the idea of whichever one you fill up first ends it. That's how I'm reading this. I have more dice, so it seems like just by the amount of sheer more dice I have, that this is a better idea. 2 becomes a 3. And then I almost want to use my push. If I use my push and I get a positive outcome, then I reduce stress. So it's like riskier. It's very risky, but a 2 becomes a 3, and with my push it becomes a 5. If that's how math works. Or I use my 2 on something else, and then I use my push on a 3, which will become a 6. Let me think about that. Okay. Let me think about that. Can I use my 2 over here This seems like a bad idea. Use my 2 here. 50% neutral, 50% negative. So 50%. Yeah, use my 2 here. I have made no progress on this because I keep failing it, which is ridiculous. And it gave me 2 stress when I failed, so no, that doesn't make sense. I can't afford any more stress. Okay. If I'm interpreting the interface correctly, which I really don't know if I am, if I'm interpreting the interface correctly, then I will need X number of dots to complete. Maybe both. Maybe it actually is I need both of these. Well, okay, you know what? I haven't read them. Let's read them. Isolate the core. I don't know why I'm not reading them. The core is fragile, but by routing the data connections to it from the cradle, it can be lifted free without damage, at least in theory. Okay. Core data extraction. The core sits in a complex cradle, many connections. Getting that out intact is delicate art. Fine. Slice the core. One way of getting the fragile core out is to physically cut it free, slicing each connection individually through the potential, though the potential for damage is high. It's dangerous, not meaning if I succeed, the potential is high, but by doing it, it's high. Data core damage. The core is barely intact. Any mistake, no matter how small, could render inoperable, making the... Oh, okay. I think... This is how I think I'm reading this interface. It's funny, too, because the tutorial keeps popping up for the weirdest stuff, and I'm like, tell me what this means. This is how I'm reading this. This... Boy, I really wish I had spent my point on the push. I would have one more die, and just things would be a lot easier. That's my bad. I think if you're successful in either of these, it goes here. If you do the danger one, it'll give you more, but it will also fill this out if you fail, or probably even neutral, which means you only want succeeding here to succeed here. I'm gonna do this, and I feel like 50. I really need this 50% to work. 1 data core extraction, 1 data core damage. Oh. But why was it only 1? Was that a neutral? Was that a neutral or positive? That must have been a neutral. All right, well, like now we can't roll 2s. Like we're in really bad shape. We have way too much stress, and it's totally my fault. Yeah, I'm taking too many risks, and I'm not getting lucky enough. Yeah. I'm a little mad at myself. Let's go again. Let's keep the risk going. Neutral outcome: 1 data core extracted, 1 data core damage. No stress for that though. Let's try it again. Let's not get a neutral outcome, huh? Let's get a positive outcome. Neutral outcome. Is this just us? We just get neutral outcomes? Neutral outcome. Okay. That's the answer to the question. We just get neutral outcomes. This is 100% positive. Can't be a neutral outcome. Let's go. Plus 2 data core. Okay. So if I had 1 more success here, then we would have been done. All we had 4 shots at 25%, and we didn't get it, which is below average. Although we also didn't get a negative outcome. So here's my theory. My theory is because this is risky, it's worth less. I don't think it's going to give us 2. I think this one gives us 1. So we actually don't succeed on this today. Therefore, I'm going to spend this here. That's my theory. That we will have a positive outcome. And then this guy, I literally haven't even used anything he's doing. And I just now realized that because he literally, none of these skills, there's nothing he can do. So I guess it's kind of good that he didn't roll that well. But yeah, now if I roll any 2s, my dice are damaged. So ones or twos. I'm in a really bad position now. Yeah, there's just nothing I can use this dice on. So we got a little unlucky here, or I guess we got about average lucky. We didn't have any successes, or otherwise we would have been in a much better position. But oh well. So we end the day and hope for the best. We're going to prioritize what I believe is the mission and not the extra. We got 2 1s, so we're just literally not going to be able to use them, but 6s and 5s are great. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to do this right now. This is a guaranteed positive result. We'll fill this up. And now we'll do a little bit more story. Hopefully this is not like persistent damage that happened. Oh. We got an achievement. Extract the core cleanly. We watch nervously as Junie guides the core out of the cradle. A large ball, almost half your height in diameter. Wow. It glides up into the framework that held it. Connections waving loose and cut. Her breathing comes through the suit's comms loud enough to be picked up, and it fills you with a tense energy as you watch. Over the course of the job, you've seen Junie both focused and distracted, nervous and precise, but you've not seen her any more confident than she is in this moment right now. She floats beside the data core, handling it with care and skill as if the vast egg of some endangered bird. She glances up and sees you watching her, and you notice something unfamiliar in her eyes, something that you have perhaps seen only in a passing moment before. Only now it's no momentary lapse or change. It's set in place. You see determination. She guides the core a little away from you with one hand, and at the same time comes forward, almost placing herself between you and her prize. And it does seem to be hers, the way she handles it, the possessive way she screens it with her body. We need to talk. The statement comes flat and deadpan. Any nervous trembling gone. Right now. So again, the guy who sent us on this mission, very shady character. She then comes and says, hey, that shady character wants me to join you. And we go, that doesn't make sense. And she goes, yeah, it does. See you there. And our character doesn't go back in the office and ask him, hey, did you send this girl and force her to join us? Because honestly, we haven't needed her. So my guess is she didn't send us. That's fine. Junie, stop. Sleeper. She takes a breath. I want to be honest with you, but I need to know you won't take this from me. This is my mission! Junie glances around the cradle defensively, but Serafin is already heading back to the ship to prepare the cargo bay of the core's storage. You two are alone. Tell me and we'll see. Fine, she holds her arm, but it's staying with me. Carson doesn't deserve this treasure, Sleeper. Junie glances over her shoulder at the core. Do you know how many of these are left intact? She shakes her head. And all he wants to do is wipe it clean so he can use it to interface with the Hexport. All that data gone. Contract is a contract. Okay, well, we need 400 credits. You want to give me 400 credits? Then I don't care. Like, I have no feelings one way or the other. So what do you want? I want to extract the data, to make use of it. You see some genuine emotion flicker in her eyes. She sighs. After extracting the data, the core will be unusable. There's a security system that will fry if the data duplication is attempted. I can delay the security response long enough to copy the data, but after that... You've done this before. Yes, she meets your eye. That's why I came. Look at this place, Sleeper. She gestures to the cradle room, a dark and twisted cavern of dead tech. How many of these places are left? How many chances do we have to recover anything this old, this fragile? Like it or not, we live in Solemn's shadow, in their ruins. And yet we know almost nothing. What chance do we have of understanding how we got here when others like them, like Senstat and Conway, are descending onto the system? What can we learn from the core? I don't know, Sleeper. That's a point. We can learn our history. We can learn how this system was settled. We can better learn the technology we build our lives on. We could uncover Solemn's crime and seek to make amends. She looks at you with pleading eyes. We could see beyond survival towards something else. I need 400 credits. Now I wish I had finished the other mission faster. The other mission is like looting. If it seemed like we have like 100 and something credits. We need 400 and we have like 5 days to do it. Like, I'm a historian, like, you know, like, I respect this. Have you ever heard Junie? You have never heard Junie speak like this. We've known her for like a week. And you realize what you've taken the risks with actually control. This person in front of you is defending a decaying data core with their life. This is the real Junie. Then you think of Lane, the price he put on your head. Right? And the feed lines without which Hexport will almost be lost. I'm going to explain the feed lines. Junie listens carefully as you tell her about the deal. The feed lines he offered you, and you both and Serafin are on the run. Just be honest with her. Then I'll help you. Junie doesn't flinch. We'll find another way to get those feed lines. Carson's an idiot. I can hack his security, and you can pull them out of there. Why don't you pull them out of there? Or Serafin looks tough. Maybe he can grab them. She looks desperate. We can do it. We can do something. Don't you work for him? I knew you wouldn't take me if... Yeah, she was lying. Duh, we knew that. I might have misled you there. I knew he knew where the derelict was, and I heard your conversation. I've been keeping an eye on him. I know I lied, but I can help you. Let me strip the data from the core, and I promise to help you with the feed lines. She meets your eye with intensities. It's a lot of information to take in at once. You need a second to think. Oh, man. I mean, really? My gut is like, no. Not just no, but hell no. That's like really... She essentially just like wants us for history's sake. Like, I mean, that's like a noble pursuit. It's a noble pursuit, but like, she's done this before, and it's not like she's like super well off, so it's not like the information she learned is actually helpful. Yeah, that's right. I spilled water on myself. Good time. Oh, man. Yeah, all of my instincts say no deal, but the video gamer in me says, let's do this. Thank you. Junie looks genuinely moved. This is a gift for all of us. I hope you'll see it like that. I hope there is something on here that gives me like a benefit like 5 cycles from now. That would be good. Junie turns to the data core, quickly gathering one of its loose connections. I will say from the first game though, like oftentimes one-off decisions are just one-off decisions. And crosses her legs and takes place across them, floating tethered beside the core. Her fingers begin tapping at the keyboard. I wish the other guy was here and we could have had a group conversation. Teasing out the core data and whatever some secrets might contain. As she does, Serafin enters, who braces herself. What is she doing? Emptying the data. She's doing what? Serafin jumps to attention. Put your hand on his shoulder. He eyes you suspiciously. I hope you know what you're doing, Sleeper. He nods towards the core. That's her ticket out of here. Junie will help us. If you say so. You both turn to watch Junie stripping the core of its secrets. I wish he was there for the whole conversation. A little while later, once the core has been emptied out and the defense mechanisms have been scorched, it seems black. You watch the metallic sphere spinning gently in the room and wonder if you've just made a terrible mistake. Contract failed. Oh, does that also mean I don't get my 2 like experience points? Oh, yikes. I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah. I think I also didn't get experience points. All right, well, let's I don't know. Let's try to unlock this. Don't get a neutral, please. I'm tired of neutral. Thanks. Let's get some scrap at least. How does he have a 6 down here? Did their dice get recycled? I would like to loot. This is what I want. Extract raw scrap. Here we go. This is what I want. He's the only one that has this skill. 1 scrap, 1 derelict stress. So even a positive outcome created stress. 1 crisis active, 1 per cycle. The contract stress has triggered. The stress will add to the contract. I literally couldn't read that in time. Guide? Contract features, maybe? Contract stress will display X marker on it. This indicates crisis will trigger when the contract stress reaches that level. A crisis is a special event that has dice actions and a clock. If the clock is filled, the crisis is resolved. For every active crisis, contract stress will increase 1 per cycle. Okay, I think I understand. What did we get out of that? Okay, we got raw scrap. I have no idea what that's worth. But that was a positive, that was a 100% positive outcome, and we still got a crisis. Okay, so this is the hull breach. So we need to seal this breach. And he's the only one that has the skill to seal it. Okay, great. Can we just go home? Okay, we can go home, so therefore I'm going to do this, knowing that it's going to basically destroy the ship we're on. I'm just extracting everything and getting the heck out of here. There you go. We got 3 scrap, and there's going to be a crisis, but we're leaving. What happens if you do this? 50% chance? I don't even know what neutral does. Okay, I'm gonna not do that. That just seems like I'm asking for trouble. Okay, there we go. We got 3 scrap out of this. If we can sell that for 300 credits each, we'll be in a good position. Purge coal. Yeah, look at this. Everything is so destroying. The derelict system has been jolted back into operation. It needs to be shut down quickly. Security system. Okay. Or we just leave. See you later. That's kind of fun, though. I like that we just pulled the junk out of it and started destroying the place as we left. Nice dice roll. You've arrived at Hexport. Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. Going to have to act fast if we want to take those feed lines. You and Serafin exchange glances. We're both still getting used to this new Junie. We? Serafin raised an eyebrow. Only one of us fried the core and stole its data. He shoots a look at you, and for some reason we let you. We can make this work. I don't know if it was the right call, but we can make it work. What I'm wondering, Sleeper, is why we would have to. He looks infuriated. I know, I wish he was there for the conversation. I don't think Karsten is going to take kindly the idea that we brought someone pretending to work for him on a job and let her have his prize. Points at Junie like she's an object. You know? Do you even know what she's up to? No, I don't. Junie looks between you two. Hexport hasn't exactly been kind to me. You two trusted me, even though I didn't deserve it. I'm not used to that. I want to repay you 400 credits. Not to mention that Kristen is probably ripping you off. Even if you've got enough Cairo, what's to say he won't raise the price? Trust me, he's not good. Good point. I was trying to deal with him to get those derelict coordinates from the moment I arrived here, and he ran me in circles. She shakes her head. Serafin is watching you closely. Even if I do take your word, which given everything seems to be a little tough. How do we even do this? He raised an eyebrow. Are you telling me we just drift in there and take the feed lines? I will say, this guy who's a little bit of a shady character, he was like, oh, these were custom made for another client and they never picked them up. So I'll sell them to you for some completely ridiculous amount. But meanwhile, if you go to like Home Depot and they make paint for somebody and they never pick them up, they sell it at a discount. Not at a premium. The music got so loud. Does the music level actually change anything? It was at 5 and I couldn't hear it. And then I put it to 3 and now it's at a 2. Look, I get it. You don't trust me. But what if I have a vested interest in this working out? There's nothing left for me here, and I don't feel much like hanging around waiting for Karsten to figure out my involvement in all this. I need safe passage. You need the feed lines to grant it. She allowed herself a smile. See where I'm going with this? I do see where she's going with this. Serafin sighs. I don't like it, but it makes sense. What do you think, Sleeper? We all get something. I'm not gonna say I like it. I'm still kind of mad. Exactly. Let me prepare. I'll head to Factory Row, scope the place out, meet me there. So I'm guessing, quick pause before I finish reading this. I'm guessing once we get the feed lines, we're gonna leave pretty quickly. Where just in the first game, you never left the one space station, so I'm still kind of getting used to this idea of being able to leave. Meet me there and we can work out a plan. She glances between the two of you. Trust me, we can find a way. We'll keep it simple, clean. Simple is good. Agreed. His dark look betrays his concern. I'll go scope out the bay. We need a Factory Row. We should split up. Less likely for Carson to suspect us. Meet me here in a few and we can finish setting up. Junie unclips from her seat, floating. I want to show you it can be trusted. That we can do this. She looks between the two of you. Believe that, please. And with that, she slips away down the passage towards the airlock and the Hexport beyond. You look at Serafin. I'm saying nothing, Sleeper. He unclips from his seat too. Either this is the kind of mess you have to go through to get to the other side, or it's the kind you never escape. Either way, we're in it now. You stare at the chaotic lights of the Hexport and wonder if anything in the Starward Belt ever runs smoothly. Okay. Yeah, see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 days before we're caught and game over. Here's our new location. What is this? How come I gotta use my dice for his security? I thought she was helping us out. You know what I mean? Like, am I being obtuse? She said she's gonna hack it, and now I gotta use my dice for this. I don't know. I'm annoyed. This is not even a skill we have. Maybe I should use my points now, but we're not going to. We're still not going to use it. All right, is there anything else we can do here? So basically our dice are used for the job. Okay, oh yeah, here we go. So we got, I don't know what this is gonna give us. Let's do 1 and see. Let's scrap it, because I might want to save this for other parts. 16? Okay. All right. I mean, the shift pays 13, so I'm going to hold on to these in case these are used for something else. Like maybe repairing my dice if those get busted. I'm not sure. I still don't know how. It said there's a way to repair your dice if they're broke. Oh boy, this one's already down to 1. I didn't realize that. Oh, we're in trouble. But I would instead of the dice being broke, I would rather we find a way to repair it. But that doesn't seem to be an option. All right, so this is literally the only thing we can do out here other than just make money. So I can't do this. So I guess we just do this. Seems kind of annoying, honestly. I don't like, I have pretty good dice, but not for this. This is the only thing we can do. So it's like I have decent dice, and then we're sitting here not like, if there was a variety of skills I could use these on, then that would be great, but there's not. And I don't even know what a negative result's going to be. Lost in energy. Okay, so we're not going to get this done today. Regardless. Yeah, boy, that felt dumb. That was annoying. The only thing I could do with those dice. I guess I could have gambled here. All right. Well, end cycle. We hope for good dice. We got bad dice. Got bad dice. Got bad dice. Okay, let's use our best mediocre die and hope for the best. Negative outcome, our first negative outcome, right? Okay, we got it. Now what? It's annoying, though, that she's going to hack his security system for us to run and steal it, and I had to use 2 days worth of dice to get it. I got a problem with that. Is she helping us or not? I thought she was helping us. The sound of fists on the keyboard wakes her from the scrolling of the terminal screen. You see Junie, a rare half smile on her face as she flows across the crosslegged on the deck. In her lap, the blue light of the snap-on screen makes her eyes glint with glittering excitement. Got him! She shoots you a look. Carson's whole system is mine. Yeah, I did all the work. You push away from the terminal and glide over the screen. Running the mapping protocol now. I want to know every little dusty corner of his network. Is there much to map? Weirdly, there is. Coming now, seems Carson is pretty paranoid. The whole system is iced over with some furious security, she frowns. What are all these layers of? A red pulse flashes across her face, changing her features to dust. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Her fingers dance across the keyboard. Something is closing the port. We need another flashing red. Goes blank. Judy hits the keyboard harder. We've been kicked out. She's rapidly shaking her head. There's no way to salvage. That salvager shop should have that kind of countermeasure. She looks troubled. Maybe you peeked in the wrong corner. It seems so. I think our friend Carson is involved in some nasty stuff. She rubs her forehead. Yeah, that's why we should not cross him. Wait, her fingers fly across the keyboard, her screen flickering with command. A complex node graph assembles on the screen of messy interlocking connections. Can you tell us what you learned from that module that we gave up? Did you learn anything interesting about our history or about technology? The mapping protocol did enough. She points at the screen. All the security systems are there. She indicated a dark section of broken connections. We didn't get what's here, but it seems like we found some kind of archive. Nothing we want. I wonder what's there. Some big data trawls. It looks like copies of old drives he found. Could he be a load of data we left over from salvage jobs and he thinks it's worth something? She smiles. Maybe he's pulling the data off the drives and not using the hardware, and he's just lying. He's a meathead with no eye for data, so it's probably a load of debug logs he thinks are solemn secrets. And don't underestimate him. Yikes. Junie pulls the thumb drive out of one of her many pockets and slots under time. Time to train the cat. Identify the program. Neutral outcome. Alright. You watch the code spill across the screen and notice that's my first time using a die roll in dialogue. It appears to be some kind of exploration program. A ripper worm, perhaps. Why would Junie want the data from Carson's network? She's kind of obsessed with data. You glance at Junie and notice she's watching you carefully. I can see you following along, but trust me, you haven't seen one of these before. It's a Katzenjammer, CAT for short. Basically, it takes a network Mac, finds the weaknesses, and then you hook it up, blast the network with so much network noise and raw data that it becomes unusable. She smiles to herself. Any tech connected gets a killer headache. I built it to take the remnants of the Solom security system out of commission on an old derelict. She squints. I had one too many close calls. What will it do to a shop? Pretty much fry anything on our map. Cameras, shutter controls, alarms. That'll be pure chaos. She plucks the thumbnail. I mean, this guy hasn't really done anything wrong to us. He offers us a job, and we're like, instead of doing the job, what if we betray you? Like he might not be a good guy, but he hasn't done anything to us. She plucks the thumbnail drive out of her deck and hands it over. Cat head sticker on it to catching the lights as you turn your fingers. We've still lost access, of course. Junie turns back to her screen. I can talk. Bringing up another node map. But there's an old solemn port. The original facility just outside Katzen's. Slot the cat in there and it should be able to find the back door. What are we waiting for? Nothing. This isn't going to be quiet, she squints. This whole system is going to get data blasted. It's not a subtle hack. And when you slot the cat, you get in, grab the feed lines, and run. Sounds like one heck of a risk. Saren's voice catches you both sides rise as he slips in the dark of an empty unit. Well, Junie pauses. Looking between the two of you, it's our best option. Serafin narrows his eyes. And where will you be while we run the gauntlet of scrambled security to make it go? Junie looks away. I can monitor how it goes down remotely from here or the ship. Serafin gives you a look. You can tell he's finding it hard to trust Junie after everything. I trust you, Junie. I actually do want her on the ship because if we pick it up, we got to get going. She smiles, thanks. She starts to back up her deck. I'll find somewhere else to work, close to the ship, but out of your way. Junie shoulders the bag, and that's good. I want her on the ship also. When you're ready, slot the cat and go. By the time you're back to the ship, I'll be there. She glances down. Don't leave without me. Maybe if I'm leaving, I don't have to do anything with these terrible dice. It would be nice if my dice get repaired. Serafin watches her go and then turns to you. The whole Hexport is going to hear about this. Shakes his head. You better be ready the moment you slot that thing. I'll be ready. I'll be at the ship preparing the engine. We need to be ready to fit the lines as fast as possible. He meets your eye. Be careful. Don't stop for anyone or anything. He puts a hand on your shoulder. Don't even think about looking back. With that, he slips out of the unit, leaving you wonder what's next. Do we spend our money? Because we do have money. Do we spend it just maxing out fuel? Like, do we just max out fuel and supplies? Does that make sense? Do we also spend 13 to eat and have full energy? I feel like that makes sense. Like, we just spent like a decent chunk of our money, but yeah, I don't know. If we have to do something that costs 100 now, I'm going to feel pretty stupid. Yeah, I guess they're giving me an opportunity to, like, basically, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. 7. Perfect. I just want it to be over 100, like a nice round number that's like, that feels right. Like there's something could come up and it might cost 100. All right, this is it. I think we're leaving the base. That's what I think is happening. Let me get into a more neutral position here. Oh, okay, continue. And now it's like, you need 3 or more. I'm like, no, I just spent it. Carson's place is locked up for the cycle. Shutter down, alarms on. The denizens of Factory Row sneaking past with deliveries and work orders. You hold your position opposite of the shop. You take a deep breath and wait for the signs that it's going to work. You look at the thumbnail drive with its shimmering cat sticker sticking out of the old Solem access port. You imagine the flow of data as a Katzenjammer seeks for an entry point into a system. You think of Junie, tucked away near the ship, watching through the public networks. You think of Serafin, deep in the engine room of the rig. Hurry the hell up, you think. Enough waiting. and you hear it, a pulsating white noise spluttering and then screaming out of Carson's shop. The shutter scissors up and down, the lights pulse, the alarm gurgles in confusion. For a moment, you're stunned into stillness. People, People stop in the street and then turn to look as the shutter motor burns out the cascade of sparks, acrid smoke. Now or never. I mean, what happens if I fail? I guess we're approaching carefully. Neutral, check passed. The other option was worse. You skirt around the people watching, using them as a perimeter. They're pointing and talking, some of them laughing, while others look concerned. You confidently push past them and glide inside without looking back. He told you not to look. It takes a moment to gather yourself in the chaos of the ship. The wall-mounted screens scream out white noise, and flickering lights make it hard to concentrate, but you keep your focus. You scramble over to the feed lines in the window, grabbing the bundle with both arms. They wave wildly in your grasp as you wrench them and kick them off the counter, gliding them back to the passage. Your arcing glide takes you into the crowd. You steer yourself through a gap in the gathering bodies and kick off hard towards the port. The feed lines wave wildly, but you grip them hard to your chest and you don't look back. Serafin better be ready. Your arms ache from clutching the feed lines, but you don't lose your grip until you see the entrance to the docking bridge. Sleeper, you almost ignore the call until you realize you recognize the voice. Junie glides out to meet you and hands her hand on your shoulder, guiding you towards the bridge. I'm with you now. She shoots you a glance. What a show, huh? She laughs nervously. Stay silent. I don't want you both glide down. Who cares? Let's go. You glide down the docking bridge. Junie helps you with the trailing feed lines. From what you can tell, news of the chaos in Factor Row has not reached the port yet. You feel a flush of excitement as you enter the ship's airlock. This is it. You did it. You try to keep focus, but the elation makes your hands tremble. You take a sharp turn in the central passage of the ship and make your way to the engine room. The feed lines now unwieldy in the cramped space. Serafin's waiting for you, shaking his head. Looks like we're in business. He lets out a sigh. And on the run from two different people now, he grabs the feed lines. I'll take it from here. He quickly begins processing the connection to the engine and subsidiary fuel tank. You watch, catching your breath. How about you make yourself useful rather than just making me nervous, Serafin says, looking out from his oar. Go close the airlock and disconnect the bridge. You and Junie glance at each other. Both of you, now. The two of you turn and make your way to the passage, your nerves settling in. You arrive at the airlock and reach the control panel. Then you see him. Katzen, coming up the docking bridge fast. Close the airlock or shout stop. Oh. You hesitate the control panel just out of reach. He slams into you with some force, sending you spinning. That's the worst time to roll. 25% chance. Sending you spinning into the metal wall behind you. You jerk in pain as you hit and lose your sense of direction. Carson's heavy hand grabs your neck and wrenches towards your face. Sneaky little jerk. You think I didn't know who it was when I saw what was taken? I mean, yeah, good point. His breath is hot on your face. I thought you sleepers were supposed to be smart. Before you can respond, he jerks back in pain, thread of blood spiraling from his forehead. Junie swings again, a pipe catching him in the chest and sending him spinning towards the door. You watch stunned as she inputs the closure sequence with trembling hand, and the door's closed hiss, obscuring Carson's floating body from the view. She's breathing hard, and she doesn't look up. The pipe drips from her hand, gently in the air. I'm gonna stay silent, because, again, he hasn't actually done anything wrong to us. He's now just, defending himself, but whatever. Serafin rushes past, gliding up the passageway. Come on, get yourself strapped in. You and Junie silently follow him, your head spinning. I mean, it's we failed the dice roll, so we got a stress, which is bad, because that's gonna make it so we break dice. So that is bad, but it, the story was going to progress. Anyways, you slip your seat as Serafin punches in the departure sequence. The rig begins to pull away from the Hexport. Serafin, hands on the control. You close your eyes and feel the force of thrusters firing. Escape Hexport before Lane finds you. Okay, we got 2 more points. What the? Serafin, quiet question interrupts your thought as the rig cuts across the belt. Hexport now behind you, drifting out of visual range, its glinting lights. Now just part of the background glow as the belt's 1,000. Hold on, we're going to snooze that ad. A bad's about to run, and we're going to snooze it for 5 minutes. Background glows the belt's thousands of reflected bodies. Whatever trouble you stirred up there, it surely has been left behind. Of course it's been left behind, and don't call me Shirley. Which is why Serafin's muttering is worrying you. More trouble? Serafin turns. There's a transmission coming out of Hexport. Some kind of evac order. He turns back in console. Let me check this. Sleeper. The voice is distorted as it cuts through you. Lane. I know you're there. Hissing pause. Is that coming from Hexport? Serafin glances at you, confused. Is what coming from Hexport? Give me a second here, Sleeper. I'm getting a wide channel broadcast. He rubs his shoulder nervously. They're warning people to alter their course away from the station. Oh no, what did we do to the station? You're slipping away, squawk a noise. But we can't have that. I take this personally, Sleeper. For those of you who joined on the raid and you didn't catch the beginning, this is the guy in the very beginning who was trying to kill us, and I guess we worked for him, and he was kind of keeping us addicted to drugs, and we pieced out, so we're on the run from him. I sharpen and take a breath. After all my investments, all my care expended on you, this is how you repay me? At least we're heading away, Serafin interrupts. Maybe it's just a precaution. I see a little something glinting out there, Lane continues. Could that be you? Oh, did he just show up to Hexport and just blow it up? That reminds me of Knights of the Old Republic, when you spend the whole first part of the game on like a planet, you build all these skills and all these relationships, and then they just blow it up, and you go, oh. Alright. Sleeper. You hear Serafin calling, but you don't move, you don't breathe. All you hear is Lane's voice. You unclip from your restraint, drifting towards Serafin. He gives you a wild look. Something isn't right. You don't feel right. The numbness grows in your body, your fingers flexing without your input. You reach out towards Serafin. No, not you. Something reaches out to Serafin through you. Attention flickers in his eye. Fears? A hissing silence, then a rumbling blast. All at once, the rig screams. System seizing in electromagnetic paralysis. All at once, the rig shifts, carried on some shockwave of light, pain, and darkness. Oh, this is not how I wanted this to go. I thought we were going to get away and go to a new station and have new jobs. Voices echo warmly through your mind. Can't quite make out what's being said, and any attempt to focus causes a growing flare of pain. So you let them fill the air. Undeniable and soft. You're floating, and so you cannot feel your body or its weight. Feeling is pleasant, soothing, and yet the moment you realize this, it begins to fade. Something spasms in your fingers and it flick it away. The sensation crosses the sole of your foot, and you kick your leg. A weight settles in your chest. You're awake. You open your eyes. The light playing across the surface patterned with sustained cushioning. You're alone. The voice is replaced by the hum of air circulating, distant clink of your maintenance system. You're alone, and this is not your ship. You jerk upwards towards the strap. Towards the straps that holds you loosely to the berth. Suddenly, confronted with the last things you remember, an overwhelming numbness. And below it, an insipid, animated force creeping through your mind. You pull at the straps and free yourself, floating up the small room, cushion and warm, mind racing. What happened? You search back and remember only Serafin shouts, and suddenly acceleration of the rig, and then darkness. Chill runs through you. Cold light fills the room, and you float over the dark squares of the window. You see stars. The bright pinpricks of drive trails and skeletal docking bridges. This is a station. A sudden hiss draws your attention to the door, which slides open in a puff of equalized pressure. The entering figure jumps up as they see you're awake. You're up? They hesitate in the doorway. Where's Serafin? Your friend, right? They laugh nervously. I'm not really sure. He hit it out a while ago. I'm Bliss, they shrug. I'm not sure what to add. Your crew out there, sorry, they brought you here. Here? Right, this is my room. They glance around. Not much, I know. We're in my repair bay. On the far spindle, if you know where that is. In the belt? Yeah, in the belt. They look around the room again. Come on, let's go somewhere a little more comfortable. They hold out your hand. You're safe, don't worry. I trust him. Look at him. I trust him. You follow them in the corridor, gliding behind them. They move with the ease of someone who is either born in 0G or has spent most of their life in it. I still don't know exactly how their bodies work and how they're not losing all their muscle, but they don't get into that. We're a robot body, so we can do whatever we want. They guide you to the enclosed balcony where heavily scratched, thick acrylic windows look out onto the chaotic-looking wet dock. In the center of the dock is the rig, scratched and worn, but still your ship. It's a reassuring sight. Is she okay? She'll be fine when I'm done with her. Bliss sees you staring at the rig. Took some damage, but she's a hardy old thing. Your ship, Bliss pauses. You're lucky I heard your distress signal. You sense they're holding something back. I guess that expansive long-range array was tricked into... I guess that expensive long-range array I was tricked into buying is finally paying off. Wow. Okay. They laugh to themselves. Well, at least for someone. You were out cold when I got there, and have been for cycles since. Your friend wasn't in great shape either, but he bounced back fast. Oh boy, he is injured. You make it a habit of doing that, Sarah's voice makes you spin around. Good to see you up. You can't suppress a smile. Are you okay? He smiles. Don't start fussing over me, sleeper. I'm good. Your eyes fall on Serafin's bandage abdomen. Uh-oh. He notices and pulls a jacket over his wound. Certainly looks better than when you came in. You should have seen. Bliss abruptly stops as Serafin glares in their direction. Here. Serafin pulls some chits out of her pocket. Catch. He slings them over to Bliss. That's all I could get for now. Working in your condition? Please, I'm fine. Bliss looks at you apologetically. I know what it looks like, but I'm sorry. I can't work for free. I don't blame you. I get it. We're thankful you told us it. Yeah, literally you, saved us from dying. Yeah, here's some money. Thank you. That's how it works. You need to buy things. Only I'm the idiot that gives away things for the price of data. That's me. I don't know why these dice are so weird up here, by the way. That's definitely different. But whatever. Bliss looks between the two of you. I'll let you two catch up. They turn to you. I'm glad you're awake. We were worried. They pat you on the shoulder and glide back down the corridor. With Bliss gone, silence descends on you, Serafin both. My voice is tired. Where's Junie? She's probably on the ship, working on that deck of hers. Serafin looks to the ship. She's been useful. Not sure we would have got that distress signal out without her. Alright, good. What do you remember? Lane. Serafin glances at you. Mention of his name, Lane? Shakes his head. Serafin looks at the rig, takes a deep breath, steeling himself for what he has to say. Hexport it's gone. He flinches. What do you mean gone? It's gone. He catches your eye. Dropped off the map, no signal, apart from the one sent from fleeing ships. He frowns. I don't know what happened. No one does. Your mind skips, unable to focus on the information you've just been told. You think of the constant activity of the bends, the rumble of the factory row. Carson gone. By the time Bliss reached us, we had drifted out of range. They couldn't even seen it go up, but I saw a sleeper. Something exploded, white hot. It rubs his arms, suppressing a shiver. A moment later, the shockwave was on us. The rig was crippled. Oh, that's what that was, the shockwave. Engine kept firing, but guidance went offline, sending us arcing out across the belt. Drops a hand inside his jacket, pressing against a bandage on his side. I managed to get her under control, but not before we started spinning. My restraints came loose, and you weren't even strapped in, so we both got scrambled. Smile's a weak smile. Felt like being trapped in an auto wash. Oh, with the robot smashing into you. He turns back to you. I'm impressed you made it, to be honest. A flesh and blood human would have been smashed into pieces. He goes silent. The image a little too raw for him to continue. Could it be due with us? I said that wrong. Your guess is as good as mine. Would Lane do something like that? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Like, he's so mad at us for leaving that he blows up a whole, like, little city. Utsbo is a gang. They run Darkside. They don't go around blowing up stations. All anyone has seen is debris and radiation. Oh, radiation. I picked up a lot of ship transponders before the rig went offline. Maybe some people got out. He stops, unable to add anything more. What if it was Junie? What if Junie is like stole a bunch of data under our nose from what's-his-face and then blew up the station to not get caught? That'd be crazy. You both float in silence for a moment. So we lost our tail. How about what now? Serafin last weekly, one step at a time. You want to rush? We already owe Bliss for the work they did on the rig, and it isn't finished yet. A few more cycles, I've been told. Bliss won't hold us hostage, but I don't like to skip out without paying, even if we could get the rig started up. Rubs his neck between his fingers. Bad karma. I agree. We are in agreement. Of course we pay Bliss. She's like, this looks bad. No, it doesn't look bad. Beyond that, we need work. Fuel, supplies. It's annoying that I bought all those fuel and supplies before we left. Actually, never mind. They're still down here. Look at that. Counts the issues off his fingers. After that, he shrugs. I haven't heard of anyone coming after us, and if they did, they'd have to come through Hexport, or what's left of it. He looks away. The far spindle is way out of Lane's territory anyways. Call this bit of the belt the wash. The stations here run differently to Darkside, so now we have some freedom. Freedom to go broke, starve, and get into even more trouble, that is. In all honesty, I was hoping you might have some ideas. He pats you on the shoulder. Look for contracts. You won't hear any complaints from me, he smiles. We won't be able to fly out a few cycles yet, but it won't hurt us to have something lined up. He pauses and looks away. Serafin pauses and stares. Look, Sleeper. He rubs his side. I'm not sure I can work right now. I just got kicked out of a salvage yard for passing out on the job. Even with the pain meds, I've been in. Yep, okay. I can fly, that's for sure. But you're going to need some crew if you want to do any serious work. I'm sorry. I said, don't be. Thanks, Sleeper. He turns away. I'm going to rest on the rig. I'm wiped. You look at the rig as he leaves. This has been 30 minutes of dialogue, by the way. In case you're all wondering, I am literally waiting for this scene to be over to end the stream, and we're just keep clicking. You look through, I am tired. My voice is tired. I've had to snooze the ad 3 times, which is 15 more minutes. And now I won't be able to snooze for like a month. I don't understand how this stupid snoozing works. You look at the rig as he leaves, the warmth and softness of your waking moments now fleeing the distant memory. Is this what you wanted? Freedom? A chance to work for yourself, not Lane? Well, here it is, with all the problems and complications you can imagine. And what does it cost? Could Lane have wiped out Hexport just to try to end you? You shiver at the thought. But like, what do we know that's worth killing? If not Lane, then who? Theories cloud your mind. How about I push them away? Now is not the time for theories. Take a breath. Time to make a plan. Tutorial, you have gained some glitch. Glitch is a penalty you gain from repairing dice and from Lane's attempt to hack your system. Well, I haven't had to repair dice yet, so that's kind of annoying. Your current level of glitch is represented by your glitch clock to the right of your dice. Okay, this thing. All these things were here, but they didn't do anything before. You can have a maximum of 6. Each level of glitch you gain will increase your chance of rolling a glitch dice at the start of your cycle. Each time you roll a glitch dice, you clear 1 level of glitch. Oh, okay. So I cleared 2 levels of glitch. A glitch dice has an 80% chance of a negative outcome when used and a 20% chance of positive outcome. So the fact that they're 6s is kind of pointless because it's just an 80-20. Like, it looks like a 6, but it's not really. You find Junie in the airlock, her small collection of things crammed into her bag. Okay. I actually can't. Oh, there we go. See the last autosave? This is why I can't quit. You can't quit in dialogue. What is it, 20 minutes? 1,286 seconds? Is that what that is? I hate games that don't save. I realize that they don't want you save scumming and like being like, never mind, I changed my mind on that decision. But you should always be able to save and quit. I was coming to see you, I promise. She looks nervous. I was waiting for you to wake up, but Serafin said you were okay. That's okay. She smiles. Thank you, sleeper. I'm glad you're feeling better. Is she gonna just peace out here and we're not gonna be with her anymore? Because I would like to know what's on that data. While you were out, I was digging into the data I pulled from the core. Yes, thank you. There's lots of stuff in there, but it's impossible to read. Either I'm decrypting it wrong or I don't have the right cipher, whatever it is. I think it means the data's important. She takes a breath, or at least it was to them. I need to find someone to help me pick away, crack it open. That's why. Okay. I understand. She suddenly reaches into her bag, producing a handful of chits. Some of the data I sold just so I could buy myself a ticket to where I need to go. It's not much, but here's your share. Thanks. She smiles. You deserve more. She catches herself. I'm sorry. Good luck, sleeper. What are you chasing? Just thanks. I'll take your money. I only have 102, so let's see. She freezes, caught off guard by your question. I know there's value, true value in that data. Sleeper, I know it, and I have a project to continue. When I can't, I won't abandon. Maybe I can tell you about it another time. She smiles, closing up again. All right, see you around. You watch her drift away into the tunnels. Questions still bouncing around your head. Maybe your paths cross again. So I guess she's not on our crew anymore. How much did she give us? She gave us 60. I'll take that. All right. Last autosave, 5 seconds. Well, talk about that timing. So, this is a dialogue-heavy game, so, like, I'm sort of, like, only half complaining. But, like, I played the first game, but I'm also just, like, I'm really tired. It's pretty late, so I want to go. So, like, I'm sort of, like, half complaining. But, yeah, we're going to call it there. I am going to try to hopefully remember to look up between streams, like, essentially, like, where we are. Did we just finish, like, Act 1? Is it a 3-act game? Are we a third through? Are we halfway through? I'm not sure. Internet says 9-hour game. We always take longer. We're reading all the dialogue. Most people skip a lot of dialogue, I think. So, yeah. So we'll call it there. I think we're enjoying the game. Happy to be playing the sequel. It was part of some, like, humble choice membership thing at one point, and so I knew I was going to play it eventually. So now seems like a good time. So we're going to call it there. So thank you, Grayley, for the raid. I really do appreciate that early on. And for the gift sub, Firsty, is that what's happened? So thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye.